You're listening to the Arena Sports Network, the Quad County experience, where every fan has a voice and every team has a fan. The Arena Sports Network, bringing the spotlight back to the student athlete.
Welcome to Valparaiso Crusaders Baseball. Crusaders Baseball on ASN is driven by U.S. Tire and Auto of Gary, Indiana, serving Northwest Indiana since 1991. Now it's time for the pregame show. Here to call today's game are the voices, Mark Farina and Brian Snow.
A pleasant good afternoon to one and all in the region, across the nation, and around the world. We welcome y'all to Rocky Miller Park in Evanston, Illinois on the North Shore as the Valparaiso Crusaders travel here to Evanston to take on the Northwestern Wildcats of the Big Ten Conference. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. I'm Brian Snow, joined by Mark Farina, my partner in crime yet again. Afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon to you, too. We've got a crisp but kind of typical April spring day for baseball. The sun is out and not many clouds in the sky, so it's a beautiful spring day for baseball.
And to think, this morning when it was raining, a lot of people, including myself, thought we wouldn't be able to come on air, but the sun's out. It's a beautiful afternoon, and Valparaiso's trying to get back on track after losing the series finale against Wright State, but they take 2 out of 3. They get themselves back in the competition in the Horizon League, and now they step out of conference to take on the Big Ten in Northwestern this afternoon.
And anytime you can take 2 out of 3, especially at home, of course, against a quality program like the Wright State Raiders, you've got to be happy, and I know Coach Brian Schmack was certainly satisfied with that. He'd love to have gotten the sweep, having won the first 2 games, winning the sweep in the doubleheader on Saturday. But, your goal, I think, as a team, unless you're an elite team that doesn't want to lose any games, is to take 2 out of 3 in those series and pick up the wins in games like this against a non-conference foe, where you didn't have to travel too far to come on out and play this game.
And that's where we are this afternoon here at Rocky Miller Park, another beautiful facility where we are. We hope that you all are enjoying the broadcast and that you will enjoy the broadcast this afternoon. Going to step aside for a moment, but when we come back, Mark Farina had a chance to talk with head coach Brian Schmack. We'll get his thoughts on the completion of the series against Wright State, and then we will go on the mound and take a look at the pitching matchup. Today's pregame show driven by U.S. Tire and Auto of Gary, Indiana. The Sours Coaches Chat on the way after this. You're listening to Valparaiso Baseball on the Arena Sports Network.
Under Armour is proud to outfit Northwestern.
Have you heard the good news about a company that started 4 years ago and worked at a relentless pace based entirely upon one simple premise? Have you heard the good news about a place you can go to enjoy positive, community-oriented information about the town, city, or region that you live in and the people involved? Have you heard the good news that you yourself can share stories about this same theme to others in your community? That place is LaPorteCountyLife.com. At LaPorteCountyLife.com, you can celebrate a company that had a crazy dream based on a belief that positive breeds positive, and that people want to read, hear, and watch stuff about good people. At LaPorteCountyLife.com, you can go to a place to enjoy positive, community-oriented information about the town, city, or region that you live in and the people involved. Want to see more? Want to read more? Want to hear more? Then go to LaPorteCountyLife.com. Have you heard the good news? You're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders Baseball, live on the Arena Sports Network.
Welcome back to Rocky Miller Park. Brian Snow, Mark Farina here with you as we count you down to first pitch of this afternoon's game on a beautiful day here on the North Shore. Mark Farina had a couple of minutes to spend with Coach Brian Schmack, and the first thing that they talked about was the completion of the Wright State series. They would love to have taken all 3, but Coach Schmack was satisfied with the first 2.
Yeah, I think your goal going into the weekend is 2 out of 3 and to win a series. If you can do that every single time, then you're going to have a pretty good season. So obviously would have liked the third one, but you'll take the 2 out of 3.
Your pitching's been, for the most part, really consistent. You've really kept them in the ball games. What's been the success so far with your pitching staff?
Just going back to throwing strikes and getting contact, and not trying to do too much with the baseball. Obviously, baseball at its basic has 7 fielders behind you, and we teach those guys to use them. So sometimes it's a challenge because they avoid contact, but the guys that pitch well usually let the fielders do their job. So we're kind of going back to that.
On the flip side, you've struggled somewhat hitting. I mean, you got some clutch hits in the doubleheader victory on Saturday, but in general, that's been kind of an Achilles heel for you. What can you do at this stage of the season with the weather being what it has been in terms of trying to teach situational hitting or just hitting in general?
It's tough, the situational hitting inside. Obviously, you're getting outside now, and we'll hopefully do a little bit more of that. But, confidence right now. You're not trying to reinvent it. We're just trying to, give these guys a little bit of confidence and realize that they are good. And, when guys are struggling like this, they press, and that has a reverse effect on it. So we're just trying to calm them down and tell them everything will be okay and just go back to what they've been doing.
Let's talk about your opponents today, the Northwestern Wildcats out of the Big Ten, a coach that has had great success here, but this is a team that's struggled this year for the Wildcats. Can you tell us what to expect from the team from Chicago area?
Again, great competition. It's the Big Ten. They have better athletes, supposedly, so there's no, record aside, there's no easy games. They're going to throw a lot of their good arms today. They're going to throw many guys, so you're not going to be able to settle in on somebody, so we're going to have to get after them pretty early. But again, another good ball club. Like you said, those guys have had a pretty good resume as it is up and down, so this is definitely not a 4-19 team or whatever they are.
And tell us who you got going today and what to expect from him.
Well, we got Ellis going again. He's been our midweek guy, so we're going to try to probably give him a few innings because he's probably going to end up having a start on the weekend now with Mario Losi getting injured. So again, we're probably going to do the same. Get Ellis in there 2 or 3 innings, and then kind of a bullpen day after that. So hopefully a lot of strikes and a lot of quick outs.
Well, let's go get them today, and then welcome the Youngstown State Penguins into Emery Bauer Field this weekend.
Sounds like a plan.
Head coach of the Valparaiso Crusaders, Brian Schmack, and we'll have the webcast here on Arena Sports Network in just a moment. You're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders Baseball on the Arena Sports Network.
Get your best price on Ford trucks, Focus, F-150, Explorer, Escape, and Lincoln MKS, MKT, MKX, MKZ, as well as Fiesta, Fusion, Taurus, Mustang, Navigator, and all other new Ford Lincoln vehicles at the all-new Sowers Ford in Lincoln, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer. We offer new and used Ford Lincoln vehicles, parts, service, and used cars. If you are in Northwest Indiana or near Michigan City, LaPorte, Hobart, Burns Harbor, Valparaiso, Chesterton, South Bend, or Portage, there is no comparison to the other dealers around town. We are about to earn your business with top quality service and the most competitive pricing in Indiana. Stop by today at 3930 Franklin Street in Michigan City or give us a call at 219-879-5381. That's 219-879-5381. Or visit us online at www.sowersauto.com. Sowers Ford Lincoln, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer. You're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders Baseball, live on the Arena Sports Network.
Welcome back to Rocky Miller Park as the Northwestern Wildcats are being introduced. It's now time for the U.S. Tire and Auto pitching matchup for this afternoon, driven by U.S. Tire and Auto of Gary, Indiana. U.S. Tire and Auto, give Dave McCann a visit at 3350 Grant Street in Gary, or give a call to 219-884-4600. U.S. Tire and Auto, serving Northwest Indiana since 1991. Let's take a look at who's on the mound this afternoon for Valparaiso. Ellis Foreman will get the start this afternoon.
A young man comes into the ball game with a 5.40 earned run average. This will be his 7th appearance. He has a record of 1-2. This will be his 4th start. 28.1, 28 and a third innings pitched, giving up a total of 36 hits, 22 runs, 17 of which were earned. He's walked 6, struck out 10, and teams are hitting .313 against him so far this season.
And on the mound for the Northwestern Wildcats, Dan Tyson, the lefty, will get the start. He is at 1-2. This will be his 10th appearance and his 5th start. He's thrown 24 innings, has allowed 28 hits, 20 runs, 15 of them earned, 13 walks, same number of strikeouts, and opponents are hitting .286 against him. With the righty-lefty matchup, and with Northwestern struggling the way that they are, this will be a good chance for them to get some hits on a very clear day today.
But also, one of the things that Coach Schmack talked about is he expects that Northwestern is going to kind of run a series of pitchers through, similar to what we saw yesterday in our CCAC game of the week with Holy Cross, where they yanked the pitcher after 1 inning and 2 batters in the second inning. and ran 3 or 4 pitchers out there. So we might see the same thing today with Northwestern, and which then poses a challenge because you can't get settled or comfortable with anyone's pitching motion or speed or anything like that.
Time now for
constantly adjusting.
Time now for our Sowers Ford Keys to the Game, driven by Sowers Ford of Michigan City. Call 219-879-5381 to get the best deals from the newest Ford Lincoln dealer in Northwest Indiana. Sowers Ford on Franklin Street in Michigan City. What do you think is the big key for Valparaiso today?
Well, I think the key is to get out to an early lead against a team. Anytime you're on the road against a quality program, even as much as Northwestern's had their struggles this season, you want to get the lead early and hopefully build on that. What has hurt Valparaiso, at least so far early this season, what we've seen at home or in Indiana, is being able to take advantage of hitting those, driving in those runs when you got runners on base in scoring position.
A pause for the national anthem. When we come back, we will tell you the starting lineups, and we'll get this party started from Rocky Miller Park in Evanston, Illinois. It's Crusaders, it's Wildcats, it's college baseball. You're hearing it live on the Arena Sports Network.
Some statistics are surprising, some are unbelievable, and some are simply unacceptable. Right now, nearly 30% of U.S. students aren't finishing high school. Nearly 30%. And that's the average. In many places, it's even higher than that. And fixing it is a responsibility that we all share. This is President Obama, and I urge everyone, not just parents, but friends and neighbors and family members, to take responsibility for encouraging the high school students in your communities, to support them, challenge them, push them a little, and do whatever it takes to help them make it through. Because this is one statistic we simply can't afford to ignore.
You can do your part by going to boostup.org and sending an email, a text message, or even a wake-up call to a student at risk of dropping out. Go to boostup.org and provide the boost that's needed to make it to graduation. A message from the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders Baseball, live on the Arena Sports Network.
All glory has been honored, and we're ready to play ball here from Rocky Miller Park in Evanston, Illinois. I'm ready, partner. Are you ready?
Yeah, beautiful day for baseball. This is spring weather right here. It's a little bit on the cool side, but sunny, what you would hope for. And the field looks like it's in pretty terrific shape considering the hard winter that we had and hard early spring. So it'll be an interesting matchup today with this Dan Tyson going for Northwestern against Ellis Foreman of the Crusaders.
Let's take care of business. It's time now for your Jimmy John starting lineup, and they look like this for Valparaiso. Leading off is the third baseman Spencer Mahoney. Jeff Edwards bats second at short. Chris Manning bats third. He's out in center field. Karch Kowalczyk bats fourth. He's the designated hitter. Michael Mormon bats fifth out in left field. Andrew Bynum bats sixth. He's at first base. Andy Burns bats seventh. He's at second base. Excellent. Batting eighth is the right fielder J.P. Pacquiocco. And batting ninth is the catcher Ray Bartolomucci. Your lineup once again: Mahoney, Edwards, Manning, Kowalczyk, the DH, Mormon, Bynum, Burns, Pacquiocco, and Bartolomucci. Now time for the defense. Here's Mark.
Taking a look at the Wildcat defense, it'll look like this left to right. Joe Hoshite is in left field. The center fielder is Jake Schieber, and in right field is Matt Hoffner. The infield third to first of Nick Linney at third. Your shortstop Cody Stevens at second base, Antonio Fresquet, and at first base is Zach Jones and the battery of pitcher Dan Tyson, the left-hander, and catcher Scott Heelan for the Northwestern Wildcats.
And once again, Tyson's numbers: 5.62 ERA. He's 1-2 on the year, making his 10th appearance, his 5th start. 24 innings pitched, 28 hits, 20 runs, 15 of them earned. He's walked 13, struck out 13. Opponents are batting .286 against them.
And he's a veteran. He's a senior. Dan Tyson, 5'10", 180, out of Cathedral Catholic High School in San Diego, California. So he's not used to this kind of weather. Well, he's used to it by now, being a senior.
We are set to go. 330 down the lines, 375 to the alleys, and an even 4 to straightaway center field. Here we go. Lefty to lefty. Tyson rocks into the chest high line. He delivers the first pitch. It's low for a ball, and off we go from Evanston. First pitch time, 2:59 p.m. Central Daylight Time. First pitch temperature, 52 degrees. And the wind has died down just a tad. The 1-0 pitch to Mahoney is a fastball strike, and the count is even. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mahoney coming in at 290. No home runs. He's driven in 7 on the year. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count. Tyson from the chest high line kicks and deals. Curveball strike on the outside corner. The count's 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out. Just getting started here from Evanston, Illinois. From the chest high line, the 1-2 pitch. Curveball chopped on the ground toward first. This is going to be trouble. The flip to Tyson. He covers in time. What a play. 3-1 on the putout. A great job by Tyson getting off the mound in a hurry to get the speedy Mahoney 1 up, 1 down to the inning.
Very well executed by both the first baseman and the pitcher. And that's what you want from a good veteran team. They didn't rush the play, took their time, and tossed the ball over very quickly and right on the money for Tyson to grab it.
Jeff Edwards now steps in, hitting at 233. No home runs. He's driven in 8. Right-handed batter. Valparaiso in the road. Gray uniforms, gold numbers, and lettering trimmed in black. First pitch is a strike with a breaking ball over the middle, and the count's 0-1.
Jeff's one of those guys who would like to get on base because he is a base-stealing threat. He's 3 or 4 in stolen base attempts this year. Get your leadoff hitters on. Get the top of the order on and make things happen.
1-1 pitch, line drive, base hit in the right field, you were saying?
Just like that. Easy squeezy. He gets the opposite field line drive base hit.
Now at bat for Valparaiso.
Here comes Chris Manning to the plate, playing center field this afternoon. Manning hitting at 260, 3 home runs. He's driven in 16. Let me say thank you to a very special person that allowed us to bring this on. Brad Kalingdon, who is sitting here to our right. Big Bad Brad allowed us to do this. Tossed to first, runner back.
And of course,
but he wasn't there against Wright State. Well, he had a wedding,
that's
but
right, that we understood. Not his wedding. It was a friend's wedding. We'll talk
a
about
friend's
that.
wedding.
And of course,
he knows we're going to pick on him throughout the game, but it's in good fun. Tossed to first, runner back again.
And of course, our hosts here at Northwestern University.
Yes. Always great to come out here to the Northwestern campus. Tyson from the set position, a look at first to Edwards. And this time he'll take the short step and come home, and he delivers a strike with a breaking ball over the middle, and the count's 0-1. As my partner mentioned, Edwards 3 of 4 in the stolen base department. No score, top of the first inning, just getting started here at Rocky Miller Park at Northwestern. Tyson sets at the belt, looks at first, kicks and fires. Curveball strike, and the count's 0-2 to Chris Manning. Karch Kowalczyk on deck.
In that series finale against Wright State, one of the problems that we had was that the top of the order wasn't able to get on base. And already we've got 1 hit here in the first inning.
Now you got to take advantage of it. They'll set up outside, and they'll toss to first instead. And back is Jeff Edwards.
In fact, the top 3 hitters against Wright State only had 1 hit.
Well, we've equaled that this afternoon. Now you got to get some more. They set up outside again. Edwards leads away in first. The pitch way outside. This is sort of a mini pitch out. That'll even the count 2-2. Manning back into the box. Edwards off to a big lead at first. But Tyson does have a short set. And they'll take a peek at him as Edwards knew it and then got back to the bag.
Maybe wants to see his move up close, although obviously that wasn't his best move in Tyson's case.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Tyson sets at the belt, and Edwards takes off. He had a great jump, a swing and a little looper headed toward right. Second baseman going out. He's going to drop it. He dropped it.
And we get a break because he would have been doubled up.
Oh, my goodness. That would have been, oh, man. Jeff Edwards would have been a dead duck. He had that base stolen. Manning reaches on the air on second baseman Fresket.
Now at bat, number 8.
And here is Karch Kowalczyk. Now you have to cash in. This is one of the things that Valparaiso did not do well against Wright State on Sunday. They were combined, the middle of the order combined 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position. First and second, 1 down. A double glance to second by Tyson. The kick and the pitch on the way. tapped foul to the backstop. And no, that was a wild pitch. Kowalczyk missed it.
We'll take that break as well.
Huh?
We've had 2 of those now in the last 2 days.
We've seen that. Where have we seen that before?
It looked like a ball in the dirt that you assume was a ball or a foul ball.
I believe they're going to score that a pass ball. We'll get a confirmation in a moment. And now out goes Heelan. Thumbs up on the pass ball. That is the correct call.
Golden opportunity for the Crusaders.
Oh, man, is it ever.
Talk about setting the table for a
big
inning.
And you said it during our keys to the game. They have to strike early. They must strike early. 1 strike to count on Kowalczyk, and this is the man to do it. Infield up all the way around. The kick in the 0-1 to Kowalczyk. Fastball low, and the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Wind is blowing kind of a crosswind from left to right, kind of blowing in. So we'll see how that affects anything hit, particularly to right and right center field.
They play Kowalczyk to pull as they give him the right center field gap in the right field line. The 1-1 swung on and hit into center. Back goes Schieber. He will make the catch. Tagging is Edwards at third. He will come home. The throw goes to third. Kowalczyk drives home a run with a sacrifice fly to center. And Kowalczyk drives in his 18th RBI to lead the team. And the Crusaders grab a 1-0 lead.
And that was a well-hit ball. No chance for the center fielder to throw out either runner, quite frankly. And good base running, especially in the case of Jeff Edwards, taking advantage of it.
Tyson out of the stretch, kicks and deals. A fastball strike over the middle to Michael Moorman, who comes in at 272. No home runs. He's driven in 10. And a possible 11th RBI standing 90 feet away in the form of Chris Manning at third base.
Manning taking advantage of the deep fly ball to go to third.
Out of the stretch, the pitch, a curveball outside. The count will even at 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 down in the top of the first here from Rocky Miller Park. We are glad that you have joined us on the Arena Sports Network, and we're glad to bring this to you on this beautiful day in April. Out of the stretch, the 1-1 pitch. Curveball strike right over the heart of the plate, and the count's 1-2.
I understand the weather this weekend is supposed to be almost downright balmy.
You know what?
Getting up in the 70s.
And I can't wait. I can't wait.
I know. Everybody will appreciate that.
Indeed. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count. The kick and the pitch to Moorman. Swing and a tapper foul. We'll do it again.
You might actually turn on your air conditioning in your car. Depending on, or the windows open, certainly, but you never know.
Yeah. Never know what'll happen.
And, of course, it'll be a great weekend for the Crusaders at home at Emery Bauer Field this weekend, taking on the Youngstown State Penguins in Horizon League play.
3-game set coming up this weekend. The pitch again, swing and a miss. And Moorman is gone on strikes, but the Crusaders get 1 plus a hit and error, and they leave 1. We go to the bottom of the first. It is Valparaiso 1 and the Northwestern Wildcats coming to bat. You're listening to Crusaders Baseball. You're hearing it live on the Arena Sports Network.
Get your best price on Ford trucks, Focus, F-150, Explorer, Escape, and Lincoln MKS, MKT, MKX, MKZ, as well as Fiesta, Fusion, Taurus, Mustang, Navigator, and all other new Ford Lincoln vehicles at the all-new Sowers Ford in Lincoln, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer. We offer new and used Ford Lincoln vehicles, parts, service, and used cars. If you are in Northwest Indiana or near Michigan City, LaPorte, Hobart, Burns Harbor, Valparaiso, Chesterton, South Bend, or Portage, there is no comparison to the other dealers around town. We are about to earn your business with top quality service and the most competitive pricing in Indiana. Stop by today at 3930 Franklin Street in Michigan City or give us a call at 219-879-5381. That's 219-879-5381. Or visit us online at www.sowersauto.com. Sowers Ford Lincoln, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer. You're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders Baseball, live on the Arena Sports Network.
Time for the Northwestern Wildcats to come to the plate. They line up this way. Luke Dowk will lead off. He's the DH. Zach Jones bats second at first. Matt Hopner bats third. He's in right field. Scott Heelan bats fourth, and he'll catch. Joe Hoscheit bats fifth. He's out in left field. Jake Schreiber, Schieber, I got that wrong, bats sixth. He's out in center field. I knew I'd butcher that. The seventh place hitter, Cody Stevens, at short. Antonio Fresquet bats eighth. He's at second. And Nick Linney will bat ninth. He's at third base. Once again, Dowk, Jones, Hopner, Heelan with Douk the DH, Hoshai, Schieber, and Stevens, Frescott, and Lynn round out the order.
It's easy for you to say.
Leading off.
And here's the defense. We'll give it to you in a moment after the first pitch.
The defense will come in just a moment.
Down.
Here is Luke Douk.
Remember, they get players, athletes, and students from all over the world that come to Northwestern University.
I
So
know that.
they can make it challenging with some of those pronunciations.
And I met a portion of them covering women's basketball this year. Ellis Foreman rocks into his chest-high wind and delivers a swing and a line drive into left center field for a base hit, and they get the leadoff runner aboard.
First pitch swinging, and he gets the base hit right up the middle.
Now stepping up for Northwestern.
Here is
the
Zach
first baseman,
Jones.
Number 15, Zach
And this is from
Jones.
and that leadoff hit from a 146 hitter on the year. Zach Jones steps in, hitting at 270, 27th game and start. No home runs. He's driven in 9. And Luke Douk 2 for 3 in the stolen base department. He steps off to a lead. Northwestern in the home whites, purple letters and numbering, and a fastball strike from Foreman, and the count's 0-1.
Let's take a look at the defense for the Crusaders left to right in the outfield. It'll be Michael Mormon in left. The center fielder is Chris Manning. Your right fielder is J.P. Pecchiocco, and we'll give you the rest in a moment.
Infield up, and a double play depth up the middle. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, and the count's 0-2.
And the infield third to first of Spencer Mahoney at third. Your shortstop is Jeff Edwards. At second, Andy Burns. And at first, of course, is Andrew Bynum. And your battery of starting catcher Ray Bartolomucci and right-hander Ellis Foreman on the mound.
Ellis Foreman sets. 0-2 the count, and the pitch. Call, strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, Zach Jones. 1 down in the first.
Now at bat, the right fielder, number 19.
And now you'd like to see if you get a ball on the ground, potential double play, and get out of this inning.
Here's the big Hoff, Matt Hoffner to the plate. Hoffner, 6'2", 185, out of Edina, Minnesota.
One of those fine Nordic kids from Minnesota.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Strong and durable, handling the winter.
Yes, the pitch to Hoffner is outside for ball 1. Mr. Hoffner at 340 on the year. No home runs. He's driven in 14. One of 3 players in the starting lineup with double-digit RBIs.
So he's an RBI guy, not a big power guy, but he's been able to drive in quite a few runs already this season.
1 out, 1 on. A turn, throw to first, and the runner gets back. Luke Douk led off this inning with a single. He stands at first with 1 out. 1 ball, no strikes to the big Hoff. Foreman sets at the belt. The pitch. Fastball strike on the outside corner, and the count is 1-1. A ball, a strike, and out here in the bottom of the first. 1-0 Valparaiso with the lead, each team with a hit. Northwestern committed an error in the top of this inning. The runner takes off, swinging a bouncing ball headed to the right side. That's going to creep through for a base hit. On to third goes Luke Douk. The hit and run was on, and the second baseman broke to cover second
against the right-handed
against
hitter.
The right-handed hitter.
The catcher, number 2.
That's about as perfectly executed a hit and run as you can get, and it was a hit and run where the right-handed hitter went to the opposite field to get the base hit.
Scott Heelan comes in. Heelan, 5'10", a redshirt junior. The former Warren Township Blue Devils steps in. And the infield will, up the middle, probably play a double play depth. Heelan at 250, a home run. He's driven in 14. Yeah, how about a pitcher's best friend, the double play here? Foreman out of the stretch. Looks at third and comes home. A fastball outside, ball 1.
The Wildcats have 13 players from the Chicagoland area, 1 from Indiana. It is Jake Straub, the catcher from Fishers, Indiana, Hamilton Southeast High School.
Right down the way from Indy. Out of the stretch, the kick and the pitch. Fastball low, and it's 2-0.
And this is what you don't want to see, is falling behind, especially when you got runners on base.
2 balls,
and
no
falling
strikes.
behind early.
Yeah, after being staked to an early lead. 2-0 the count, and now a step off by Foreman. Foreman stretches, looks at third, and the pitch, swinging a bouncing ball headed to the right side. That's going to creep through, and that'll tie it up. Small ball rules. And we're tied at 1. 3 hits in the inning for NU.
Now batting.
And once again, a right-handed hitter giving himself up enough to go to the opposite field and take advantage of the situation, and he gets the easy RBI.
Joe Hoscheit ready to stand in. And Mr. Hoscheit hitting at .261, a home run. He's driven in 10. Hoscheit stands in, first and second. 1-1 tie. The pitch, curveball upstairs, ball 1.
And this is an important guy to get out in this situation. You don't want to let anybody else get on base and keep the train running, so to speak.
Well, they have 3 hits in the inning, and all 3 of them, well, the Luke Dowk's hit was into left center. The last 2 have been to right. A turn, throw towards second, and the runner gets back.
One to score. We are in the bottom of the first inning here in Evanston.
And Ellis Foreman in it. Out of the stretch, the pitch. Fastball low, and it's 2-0 to Hoscheit.
He had his location right, but the pitch was a little bit on the low side, just below the knees.
2 balls, no strikes. 1 down here in the bottom of the first. The out came on a strikeout of Zach Jones.
Definitely a batter's count.
Out of the stretch. A double glance to second. The 2-0 from Foreman is a fastball inside, and it's 3-0, and this is real trouble.
Well, in this situation, do you send your runners possible hit and run, or let them go looking for maybe?
It's worked twice already. As you said the other day, keep going to the well until it dries up. 3 balls, no strikes from the stretch. A double glance to second, the 3-0. Fastball strike on the inside corner, 3-1.
You know, he hasn't missed by much the last few
No,
pitches.
he hasn't.
I mean, they've been right there, but not quite there. His location's been good. It's just, that perfect placement.
3 balls, 1 strike, 1 down. Runners at first and second. The 3-1 on the way. Fastball strike right down the middle, and the count's 3-2.
Like that one.
You like that one?
Yes.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Let's do it again.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down here in the bottom of the first. Runners at first and second.
But Hoscheit's going to be looking for this pitch down the middle.
Hoffner at second and Heelan at first. The payoff pitch. Swinging a ground ball to third. Got a chance to go around the horn. Second 1. Return to first. Not in time as it gets away from first baseman Andy Burns. 5-4 on the force out. Hoffner is on to third. Heelan is retired. And there are 2 outs in the inning. They got it out, which is huge.
The center fielder, number 17.
But now you bring the 6th man to the plate in Jake the Snake Schieber.
But you still have the option of a force out at a number of bases.
Jake the Snake, 6 foot, 190, Wheaton North. And Ellis Foreman has thrown 17 pitches so far here in this first inning. Not the kind of work that you want to see from your starter when you're staked to a lead. The pitch, curveball strike over the outside corner. The count's 0-1.
You'll get ahead of the hitters. That's one of the keys.
Indeed.
You're going to throw less pitches because they're going to be looking to swing.
0-1 the count. 2 down, a run in on 3 hits for the Northwestern Wildcats. They've tied the game at 1. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. And a foul at the plate, actually.
Looked like a slider on that one. Slider or possibly a sinker. Because it had some giddy up on the pitch, so to speak.
One of those hard sliders.
Yeah. Well, now he's got him in the hole.
And you got to finish him off here. And you want to let's see if he gives him a breaking ball away. See if he can get Mr. Schieber fishing.
Well, he's in the hole 0-2. This is a great pitcher's count. especially in the situation.
0-2 the count, 2 down here in the bottom of the first with a run in. And the 0-2 to Schieber on the way. Curveball, line foul, out of play to the right. Schieber was waiting for it, reached out and got a piece. Count remains 0-2. Did you ever find your binoculars?
No.
You didn't?
Yet. I don't know what happened.
Okay, we have
I had them.
Someone took my partner's binoculars. We have a binocular thief, and we're going to find out who it is.
I don't know if it was during volleyball season or basketball season because I had them in the bag.
I know. The 0-2 again. Curveball outside, and the count's now 1-2. Hoffner at third, Hoscheit at first, Schieber at the plate. Down a ball and 2 strikes with 2 down. Here in the bottom of the first, a run home for the Cats. Out of the stretch with a look to third. And the 1-2, curveball high and outside. Didn't miss by much. That'll even the count at 2-2.
This is our third game of broadcasting Crusaders baseball this season since they've come back north.
And it won't be the last one.
No, we got quite a few left.
Yes, we do. We'll see Youngstown State this weekend, which is where the Horizon League tournament will be in Youngstown. Next one, swinging a pop-up foul out of play to the right. We'll do it again.
And once again, Hoscheit was off with the pitch.
And he may have sent him again with a 2-2 count.
And that was a steal attempt on that one. And he would have had the base stolen as well.
Hoscheit stands at first. Matt Hoffner at third. Infield normal depth, with Hoscheit being held on at first by Andrew Bynum. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Out of the stretch with a glance to third. The 2-2, swing a ground ball headed towards short, and right through the legs of Edwards. That's an error. In comes Hoffner. It's 2-1 Wildcats.
Ouch. Well, both teams have given each other a gift, which has led to a run.
Now batting,
but that's particularly painful when it would have been the third out of the inning.
And I think in that case, Jeff Edwards was looking for a bounce to come up to him, and it did not happen. Here is Cody Stevens, the 7th place hitter, the shortstop, hitting at .290. No home runs. He's driven in 7. Wildcats 2, Crusaders 1, bottom of the first. And this will be the 24th pitch thrown in this inning by Foreman. The pitch is a strike right down the middle, and the count's 0-1. The count. Had a chance to get out with only the 1 run scored, but the error by Edwards allows the lead run to score. But there's plenty of baseball left. Out of the stretch with a glance to second, and the 0-1 from Foreman is a fastball inside. And that'll even the count at 1-1.
Stevenson is a redshirt junior out of Glenbrook South in Glenview. So he's just down the road from here.
Glenbrook South. I think Glenbrook South are the Rams. I believe they're the Rams. The pitch. Fastball strike, and it's 1-2.
I think north is the Spartans.
Glenbrook North is the Spartans. Glenbard West, I believe, has the Hilltoppers.
My wife and I have a little fun with some of those combined suburb names. We've come up with some new ones that might be under consideration if these suburbs decide to join each other in their school districts.
The 1-2, and Foreman steps off and turns towards second to take a peek at Hoscheit.
A couple of which I get a pained look from my wife's face when I've come up with them.
Oh, gee, I wonder why. Probably the same couple I've come up with from talking to Liz. 1-2, fastball low, blocked beautifully by Bartolomucci at the plate. And leaving the count at 2-2. Although some of the names, some of the high school nicknames here in Illinois, we've talked about it. I've talked about it on the morning shows so many times. And all I got to say is Bloom Township. Don't know what they're thinking when those two schools merged. And I'll explain that in a second. The 2-2. Swinging a bouncing ball back to the pitcher. Good stop. Throw to first in time. Inning is over, but Northwestern sends 7 to the plate. They get 2 runs, 3 hits, an error, and they leave a pair. We head to the top of the second. It is Northwestern 2 and Valparaiso 1. You're listening to Crusaders Baseball. You're hearing it live on the Arena Sports Network.
Some statistics are surprising, some are unbelievable, and some are simply unacceptable. Right now, nearly 30% of U.S. students aren't finishing high school. Nearly 30%. And that's the average. In many places, it's even higher than that. And fixing it is a responsibility that we all share. This is President Obama, and I urge everyone, not just parents, but friends and neighbors and family members, to take responsibility for encouraging the high school students in your communities, to support them, challenge them, push them a little, and do whatever it takes to help them make it through. Because this is one statistic we simply can't afford to ignore.
You can do your part by going to boostup.org and sending an email, a text message, or even a wake-up call to a student at risk of dropping out. Go to boostup.org and provide the boost that's needed to make it to graduation. A message from the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders Baseball, live on the Arena Sports Network.
I just got a horrible look from the PA announcer when I made a song suggestion. I don't think he'd like the suggestion. Oh, well. We go to the second. Bynum, Burns, and Pakioko do up. And I promised a couple of the nicknames here in Illinois, a couple of the high school nicknames, and I'll start with Bloom Township. There were actually two schools, and they merged. Talk about that in a minute. Tyson rocks and fires. A fastball low and outside, ball one. Bloom High School had the Trojans, and Bloom Trail had the Blazers. And for some reason, they put them together. I don't know why they came up with this. I'll give you the nickname in a moment. The pitch on the way. Swinging a slash foul off to the right. The count leaving it 1-1. Andy Bynum coming into today, hitting at $152. No home runs. He's driven in 9. When they put the two schools together at Bloom, they came up with the Blazing Trojans. Please don't ask us why. Please don't ask.
No Trojans Blaze.
The 1-1. Curveball strike on the inside corner. The count's 1-2.
Andy Bynum is one of 5 players on the Crusaders roster that are from California. He is from Huntington Beach, California.
Uh-huh.
So we've got a few guys who've traveled quite far to come into the Midwest and play for
1-2 pitches, a fastball outside, just missed. That'll even the count at 2-2. 2-3-1 for the Cats. 1-1-1 for the Crusaders. Bynum stands in. Tyson rocks, kicks, and deals. Curveball lined up the middle for a base hit.
Micah Bullets. Yeah, exactly what you want.
He was waiting for that one.
And we want to get those leadoff hitters on, as Northwestern did in the first inning. We got the number 2 hitter on in the first inning. Now we get the leadoff hitter on here in the second.
Here is Andy Burns to the plate. Mr. Burns at 202 in his 25th start, 26th game. No home runs. He's driven in 5. And Mr. Burns, 5'11", out of Edwardsville, Illinois. He bunts out in front of the plate, and it's a beauty. Tyson gets off the mound, takes a peek, throws first in time. That's a sacrifice 1-3, and that'll move the tying run to second base in the form of Andrew Bynum.
Nice piece of hitting by Andy Burns to get the runner over.
Here is J.P. Pakioko. And old Pac-Man, a 6-foot freshman from Austin, Texas.
And we got a few players from Texas.
Mm-hmm. A few players from Texas, a few players from California. Oh, here's a name a nickname that I love. Out of Hoopston, Illinois, you have the Hoopston Corn Jerkers. I am not making that up.
That's true.
I am not making that up. The pitch, curveball low, ball 1. Mr.
Well, then, of course, you get the politically correct names that have changed.
Do you think?
Yeah,
Pakioko, 222 on the year, no home runs, no RBIs, yet he may have one at second base. The 1-0 to Pac-Man. Fastball outside, and it is 2-0. No, I got one out of Frankfort, Indiana. You ready? The Frankfurt Hot Dogs. I am not kidding.
That's good.
I think I even got Brad on that one. 2-0 the count to Pakioko. The pitch. Fastball high, and it's 3-0 to Pac-Man.
The one that I'm talking about politically correct was Pekin.
Yeah.
For a long time, they were called the Pekin Chinks.
And now they are called the Pekin Dragons.
That's right, yes. They kept the
and if you think about
Asian
it, that's
influence,
not...
but not the...
I was going to say, that's not as politically correct as you would think it is, because...
whatever,
3-0, one...
Life in the 21st century.
Indeed. 3-0, one down. Top of the second, 2-1 Northwestern the lead. The kick, the pitch. Fastball strike right down the middle. The count's 3-1.
Had to lay off of it. He was taking all the
Yeah,
way.
and I wouldn't be surprised if he took this next one, unless it is right there. 3-1 the count. From the stretch with a glance to second. The 3-1 to Pac-Man. Fastball strike. He was taken all the way on that one. The count's full 3-2.
Nice breaking ball that caught the outside corner.
Let's see who wins this cat and mouse match. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down, tying run at second in the form of Andrew Bynum, who laced a single to begin the inning. And the payoff pitch. Ball 4. Pac-Man draws a walk. Go ahead, run aboard. And that'll bring the catcher, the 9th place hitter, Ray Bartolomucci, to the plate.
Second inning in the ballgame, second inning in a row that we've had runners at first and second with just 1 out.
Leadoff man Spencer Mahoney would be next.
Bartolomucci is another one of the California products. Actually, no, we've got 6 California products. I didn't mark him off.
Tyson out of the stretch. The pitch. Fastball outside, ball 1.
Freshman out of Concord, California. He's making his 7th start behind the plate.
Bartolomucci had a $158, no home runs. He has an RBI. 2 and possibly 3 on the base paths. First and second, 1 down in the top of the second. They give him the left center field gap. And they play him to hit the opposite way. The pitch on the way, fastball low, and it's 2-0. And Tyson having some difficulty as well.
And we're being patient. That's a good thing. There's that balance between patience and aggressiveness. Now he's going to get.
And that's going to prompt a visit to the mound
by the legendary coach of the Northwestern Wildcats, Paul Stevens, in his 26th season here in Evanston.
And
a guy that's won over 600 games.
And one of his assistants is a very familiar name.
Tim Stoddard, yes.
Yep.
That's, of course, the North Carolina State baseball and basketball product. He was coached in college, by the way, by a former Chicago White Sox star by the name of Sammy Esposito, who was on the '59 Go-Go White Sox. And, of course, Tim, I believe, was on a national championship team.
Yes, he was.
North Carolina State with
he was.
David Thompson.
With David Thompson, 1974.
And then went on to have a nice pitching career, including a stop in Chicago with the Cubs.
He won a World Series in '83 with Baltimore as a reliever.
That's right. Broke the White Sox hearts back then.
Don't remind me. 2-0 the count. From the stretch, the 2-0. Fastball outside, and it's 3-0. No, the person that broke my heart in that series in '83 was bleeping Tito Landrum.
That's right, yeah. It's that upper deck home run at Comiskey.
On the 150th pitch from Britt Burns. Here's the 3-0 on the way. A breaking ball strike, and the count's 3-1. I will never forget that pitch, ever. You would think Burns had a lot left in the tank the way he was throwing into the 10th inning. 3-1 the count. Let's see if Bartolomucci takes the 3-1. Swinging a bouncing ball, base hit in the right field. Bynum will make the turn, and they will put on the brakes. That'll load him up. 3 hits now for Valparaiso.
Didn't hit it far enough into the outfield, into shallow right field, so no real chance to score.
This could be interesting.
We'll take
now
it.
At bat,
2 hits in the inning along with a walk. Has loaded the bases with 1 out.
Here is Mr. Mahoney, who grounded to first with the pitcher covering his first time up. And they will play the infield back. In fact, they will play him a double play depth, except third baseman Linney, who is up toward the grass. The pitch to Mahoney. It's a fastball strike in the outside corner. The count's 0-1.
I covered the White Sox that summer in '83 for radio, and but I was in Iowa City that day covering Northwestern and the Iowa Hawkeyes in football during Dennis Green's tenure.
Kinnick Stadium.
That's right.
I had a chance to be in that place. The 0-1 to Mahoney. Swing and a miss on a curveball. A foot and a half away, and the count's 0-2.
I don't know how the fans in Iowa City have been the last 30 years, but they were awfully tame that day. And Northwestern had a pretty competitive football team with Dennis Green.
You ought to hear some of the fans I ran into when I had a chance to go through there. 0-2 the count. The kick and the pitch to Mahoney. Curveball outside, and the count's 1-2.
Yeah, I wasn't getting a lot of loving looks on the interstate with the Illinois license plate from all those honks.
And you wonder why, when I went through there with the football team I was with, I stayed on the bus except when we went to our walkthrough in Kinnick Stadium. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 down. The kick, the pitch. Curveball hit high into left field. Holshai drifting back. Bynum will tag. Here comes the throw, headed home, and he is out by a mile.
And
he will
hurt himself.
be tagged out, and Bynum is hurt.
He fell or tripped about a good 12, 15 feet away from home plate and stumbled onto the infield grass.
7-2 on that, on the double play.
But more especially, we got to find out what the story is with Andrew Bynum. We'll come back from this. You're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders Baseball here on the Arena Sports Network.
When your vehicle needs service, look no further than Sowers Ford, a Ford dealer like no other. Our state-of-the-art service department is fully staffed with certified technicians who can handle anything from routine maintenance to the most difficult diesel repair. Brakes, tires, and batteries. Sowers Ford service has it all. Sowers Ford, serving Michigan City and surrounding communities. Sowers Ford Lincoln, 3930 Franklin, Michigan City, 219-879-5381, or visit us at SowersFord.com.
Quality products from Bridgestone, Firestone, and great service is what sets U.S. Tire and Automotive apart. Our service department specializes in brake service alignments and oil changes for customers just like you. Come pay us a visit at 3350 Grant Street in Gary, Indiana, or call 219-884-4600, or visit us online at ustire-auto.com.
You're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders Baseball, live on the Arena Sports Network.
Bynum limped off with what looks like a twisted ankle.
Well, he's had some hamstring problems in the past, too.
That's
so
what
it could be either or. We won't speculate exactly, but your first guess on a play like that is
an ankle.
An ankle, like he got his spike stuck or something like that. But we'll see. But he was able to get up on his feet and limp off with a little bit of assistance.
I'm glad that he was able to limp off. But the bad news out of that inning, a big opportunity by the boards.
And we've got a new first baseman in this case for
it's Nate Pallas.
Nate Pallas, number 15 in your Valparaiso Crusaders scorecard. Pallas is a 6'2" freshman out of Westlake Village, another one of the California products.
Now at bat, the second baseman number
So he will come in. He is an injury replacement for Andrew Bynum.
Antonio Fresquet will stand in. My buddy Brandon Vickery just shot me a message. Valpo's softball leading 8-6 in their first game, headed to the bottom of the 6th inning. We're in the bottom of the 2nd here, and Fresquet takes the ball outside for ball 1. Bottom of the 2nd, 2-1 Northwestern.
And the sad part about that, too, is that Bynum had gotten on with a base hit, so you're taking some offense away and bringing in a more inexperienced ball player.
Here's the pitch on the way, a curveball low, and it is 2-0 to Fresquet. Mr. Fresquet hitting at .250, no home runs. He's driven in 1. Fresquet, Linney, and then the top of the order, and Dowk to step up for the Wildcats. And Foreman's pitch is a curveball strike of the outside corner, and the count's 2-1.
Fresquet's another California native from San Mateo, California.
San Mateo.
I mean, just the way it's working today.
2 balls, a strike, nobody on, nobody out, bottom of the 2nd inning. As Foreman looks in, now has his sign, and time is called, and Fresquet says, I'm not ready yet.
And Freeman was ready to throw that pitch. He was already into his windup.
Don't you hate when that happens?
Oh, yeah.
From the windup, the pitch, swinging a bouncing ball out in front of the plate, and Foreman better hurry. He throws, and he got him. 1 down to the 2nd.
Nice job by Foreman. I said Freeman, but it's Ellis Foreman. Hey, I'm not Harry Carey by any stretch of the imagination. By the way, whenever I've tried to do a Harry Carey impersonation, it comes out more like Jimmy Stewart. But I don't know why, but that's what I've noticed.
That's how you started our last broadcast with Roosevelt last year.
That's right.
And I couldn't stop laughing.
That's right.
I'm just glad we had an hour for that pregame show. Nick Linney steps in, takes a strike, and it counts on 1. hitting an even 200 right at the Mendoza line. No home runs. He's driven in 6. And Nick Linney, 6'2", 205 out of Naperville, Illinois, Naperville Central. The Red Hawks, fastball low, and the count's even. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2-3-1 for the Cats, 1-3-1 for the Crusaders. Beautiful afternoon here on the North Shore.
By the way, when I was covering Northwestern back then, the sports information director was Jim Vrujink.
Aha. Next one, fastball high, 2-1.
And it was fun covering Northwestern back then, basketball. And they had just renovated, this tells you how old I am. They had just renovated and changed the name to Welsh Ryan Arena from McGaw Hall.
McGaw. Next one, fastball inside, 3-1. This is how trouble started in the first inning.
You know what? I have a trivia question, which maybe...
Oh, no.
Unless you've got another one. We can use a Northwestern trivia question.
Okay. 3-1 on the way. Swinging a foul. Out of play to the right. Right off of McGaw Hall. Into Welsh Ryan Arena. And the count's 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 down. The windup, the payoff pitch. Fastball high, ball 4. Linney draws the walk.
First walk of the game given up by Ellis Foreman.
What the heck was that played? They played some sound over there.
Sounded like something from our neighbors at Brookfield Zoo.
Oh, you know what they played? They played Bob Euchre's line.
Just a little bit outside. That's right.
Here is Luke Doubt, who singled and scored in the first.
And he got a base hit up the middle on the first pitch of the inning.
He takes this first pitch and a fastball inside, and the count is 1-0.
Came around to score the first of the 2 runs by the Wildcats in the first inning. Matt Hoffner, who also had a base hit, came around to score the second one.
Ellis Foreman into his second inning at work. Turn throw to first and safe. Just got back. Wow.
Nice move by Foreman. The throw was just a little bit far enough away from our first baseman, Palace, to allow the base runner to get back in. But it was still a good move, good throw.
Bouncing ball up the first baseline, foul.
Just foul. Just went foul before the first base bag.
And that will even the count at 1-1. Dowd singled and scored.
And Palace was ready on that one to go to second.
That he was. That he was. A ball is striking out here in the bottom of the second inning. 2-1, Northwestern the lead. As Foreman sets at the belt. The kick and the pitch. Bouncing ball right side, base hit again.
So Jock has really been on fire in this game. 2 for 2 with hits to both center field and now base hits to right field.
And here is Zach Jones, the strikeout victim.
Jones.
His first time up.
Took a called third strike his first time up. So now once again, second inning in a row that both teams have had runners at first and second in both the first and second innings.
And that is 3 consecutive hits to right field by Northwestern.
That is true.
Because Dowd's first hit was to left center field. Everything else has been to right. 4th hit for the Wildcats. Linney at second, Dowd at first. Now a glance to second, and the pitch on the way is a fastball high, ball 1.
No action. I don't see any action in the bullpen for Northwestern
don't see
Valparaiso, and I'm not sure where the bullpen is for Northwestern. I think it may be over the fence. Oh, it's back that way. Okay, it's out of our view.
It's out of our view. Out of the stretch with a double glance to second. The pitch. Fastball swung on and hit foul down the third baseline and out of play. And leaving the count at 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, this is a situation where, for Brian Schmack, he doesn't want to use too much of his pitching staff. He's want to,
especially when
Youngstown wants Foreman to go as long as he can.
Especially with Youngstown State on the way this weekend.
Exactly.
3-game series against the Penguins, and the pitch on the way, lined up the middle for a base hit around third and stopping at third. What a throw from Manning at center field. So Zach Jones is now 1 for 2.
Nick Linney would have been toast if he had tried to score.
Oh boy,
And by a large margin, yeah.
By a mile.
But for the second time in 2 innings, Northwestern has the bases loaded with 1 out. And
now Matt Hoffner, and I think we're going to have a change.
Well, Brian Schmack is coming out to talk to his pitcher and have a conference with his infielders. And I believe he may start to get some activity going in the bullpen. I don't see anything happening right now.
You know what? This is a great song that's being played for this kind of situation.
Booker T and the MGs.
Yes. A few green onions, if you would, please, on this spring day.
More of my era. I'm a little bit older than you.
He said that, folks, not me.
Right, you're right. It is what it is, you know. Yes, I do remember rotary phones and party lines and...
Oh, but come on. I remember that, too.
Manual typewriters.
Manual typewriters, yes.
So I go back that far.
When there was one phone in the house and it was either hung on the wall. Yeah. 5 hits now for the Wildcats. Bases loaded, 1 down. The pitch, swinging a bouncing ball. Guess where? Right side and through for a hit. That will score a pair. Here's a throw home. Not in time. 2-run single for Matt Hoffner on the first pitch. It's now 4-1.
So Linney and Dowk come around to score. On the RBI single, a 2 RBI single by Matt Hoffner.
Now Scott Heelan gets his turn at the plate.
And Zach Jones, by the way, advanced all the way to third on that.
Yes, he did.
Base hit.
Now you would really love to see the pitcher's best friend, which is a double play right here. And they'll play at double play depth.
1 out. We're in the bottom of the second. 4-1 the score now in favor of Northwestern.
Foreman sets at the belt. Looks in, glances to third, and the pitch. Fastball strike on the inside corner. The count's on 1.
You know, they haven't been hitting the ball. I mean, they're hitting them solid, but it's not like they're
tearing the cover.
Tearing the cover off or dropping bombs out there. I mean, they've had great placement.
There have been 2 line drive hits, 1 to center and 1 to left center. The 0-1 slashed foul out of play to the right, and the count's now 0-2.
But they've been hitting them where they ain't, so to
and
speak.
That is the rule. 0-2 the count. 1 down. That came on a great play by Foreman, getting off the mound on a squibber.
Heelan drove in the first run of the ballgame in the first with a single to right field.
Here's a swing and a shot foul to the right again. Doink! Right off the side of the building.
The Welsh Rhine Arena building, I assume. No, it's
the football practice
building. Okay,
yeah. That building straight ahead is Welsh Ryan.
There for a moment.
That's a football building, and we won't get in there unless we get permission.
That's right.
0-2 the count.
I don't think Coach Fitzgerald wants us to go in.
Foreman
scouting
kicks and delivers outside, and the count's 1-2.
And that's a relatively new facility that they have here at Northwestern.
Look, we go in there, we'll leave in handcuffs, all right? What are you guys doing here? 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 down. Foreman sets at the belt with a glance to third. The pitch, swinging a line drive toward right, drifting foul. Doink! Off the football building again.
Scott Heelan is a redshirt junior out of Warren Township High School in Gurnee.
Let's see if I know their name. I think they're the Blue Devils.
I wonder if he's ever worked at Great America or spent any
large
amount of time.
I have. I've been there and I've worked there. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 down. Out of the stretch with a glance to third. And the pitch, outside. Great block by Bartolomucci. That'll even the count at 2-2, and this is trouble.
You know, I can handle the big roller coasters that twist and turn everything. It's the repetitive motion rides that I can't deal with anymore.
I hate roller coasters, period. I've been suckered onto a few. Oh, boy. The 2-2. Swinging a bouncing ball, headed toward short. Edwards up with it. Flip to second 1. Got time. Return to first, and it is in time!
Great play by Nate Pallas, not only to record the out, but stop the ball from going past to the backstop or to the fence. That ball was thrown in the dirt, and he had to dive and not only catch the ball, but he keep his foot on the base for the out. Great play.
2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and nobody left. We head to the top of the third, And Northwestern has increased its lead. It's now 4-1. You're listening to Valparaiso University Baseball on the Arena Sports Network.
Have you heard the good news about a company that started 4 years ago and worked at a relentless pace based entirely upon one simple premise? Have you heard the good news about a place you can go to enjoy positive, community-oriented information about the town, city, or region that you live in and the people involved? Have you heard the good news that you yourself can share stories about this same theme to others in your community? That place is LaPorteCountyLife.com. At LaPorteCountyLife.com, you can celebrate a company that had a crazy dream based on a belief that positive breeds positive, and that people want to read, hear, and watch stuff about good people. At LaPorteCountyLife.com, you can go to a place to enjoy positive, community-oriented information about the town, city, or region that you live in and the people involved. Want to see more? Want to read more? Want to hear more? Then go to LaPorteCountyLife.com. Have you heard the good news?
You're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders Baseball, live on the Arena Sports Network.
We head to the third, 4-1 in favor of the Northwestern Wildcats. They took advantage of a situation, and they have just been peppering the ball to all fields. That's the bad news. Good news is there's still plenty of baseball left.
Well, and a great play by Nate Pallas at first base to end the inning, diving and keeping his foot on the bag at the same time on the errant throw by second baseman Andy Burns. Burns had gotten the perfect pitch, perfect toss from the shortstop for the first out, but he double clutched, and in doing so, kind of short-armed the throw to first. But Pallas did a great job and saved Ellis Foreman from any more damage.
It sure did. And that saved 2 runs. And we have a new pitcher in the game for Northwestern, and it is, oh boy.
Ethan Brumschreider.
Thank you, Ethan Brumschreider.
He's not very good with German-ish names, by the way.
No. And I'm not even going to try to be good unless I get a pronunciation guide.
That's really not bad.
Ethan Brumschreiber. 6'4" out of Glendora, California. Jeff Edwards now steps to the plate, and I've been forcibly handed a pronunciation guide. I'm kidding as I say that. Brumschreiber sets at the belt, the big right-hander, kicks and fires. Fastball high, ball 1. And I respectfully say thank you for the pronunciation guide. And you wonder why Mark and I have fun.
We thought, we thought you were going to get here 2 hours early, and I thought an hour and a half early. So
I know the pitch on the way, fastball, strike right down the middle. The count's even 1-1.
May have given you a little bit more time to look through the pronunciations and figure it all out.
Well, we figured it out. That's the key. Edwards singled and scored in the first. He bats here in the third. Out of the high set, the pitch. Swinging a line drive, headed toward left, dropping, and caught by the left fielder, Hochscheid, 1 down in the third.
It hung up just long enough for the left fielder to make that catch. He got good wood on the ball.
And that will bring Chris Manning to the plate, who reached on an error, so officially Manning is 0 for 1.
Now at bat.
We got more folks from Valparaiso coming in this afternoon. We're in the top of the third, 4-1 Northwestern, 4-6-1 for the Cats, 1-3-1 for the Crusaders. The pitch, fastball just a bit inside and over the head from ball 1.
And back to the backstop.
Mm-hmm.
Manning got on an error by the second baseman, who dropped a pop-up that led to the 1 run that the Crusaders scored in that first inning. It was an unearned run in that case.
Out of the stretch, the 1-0. Fastball grounded towards second. Up with it, Frisket to throw to first in time, 2 down in the inning.
This time he does not make any error on the plate.
No, he doesn't. Got to bring Karch Kowalczyk to the plate. No official at bat. He has a sacrifice fly and a run batted in.
Kowalczyk.
On a deep fly to center field. Making that a routine tag up and score by Jeff Edwards.
Schieber had a long way to go. The pitch to Kowalczyk has a fastball striking the outside corner. The count's 0-1.
Karch is tied for the home run lead with the Crusaders.
tied with Chris Manning. They each have 3.
Thank you. I can't find my stat sheet. That's here somewhere.
Out of the stretch, the pitch. Fastball low, and the count's even 1 ball, 1 strike. Just look in front of you.
Karch with 3 home runs, 17 RBIs, 209 hitter.
18 now with the run he drove in today. Right. The pitch outside, and it's 2-1.
And like power hitters, he is a bit prone to strikeouts. He struck out 26 times this season. So it's kind of feast or famine with power hitters typically.
But you'll take it if the feast is on.
Especially with men on base.
The 2-1 to Karch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball outside, and the count's even 2-2. And Karch today, with that sacrifice fly, has climbed over the Mendoza line, hitting at 210.
Designated hitter for the Crusaders, Karch Kowalczyk.
Bram Schreiber sets, and the 2-2. Swinging a bouncing ball over Bram Schreiber's head. Shortstop. Stevens coming. He throws, and he got him. Beautiful. Hang a star on that. 1, 2, 3 go the Crusaders. We head to the bottom of the third. It is Northwestern 4 and Valparaiso 1. You're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders Baseball, and you're hearing it live on the Arena Sports Network.
Looking for a reason to visit U.S. Tire and Auto in Gary, Indiana? Our customers gave us 5 of them. The high standards of quality service and parts, lifetime warranties, a strong business built on honesty and integrity. They've been servicing the Gary community since 1991 and the largest auto and light truck tire dealer in the city of Gary, Indiana. We have a variety of products and services that are instrumental to the health of your car, including our tire fitment guide to help you find the correct size tires for your automobile. Our friendly service staff will quickly outfit your vehicle with a high-quality tire that is right for you. Check out our tire and wheel catalog to give your vehicle the perfect fit. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 219-884-4600 or visit us online at www.ustire-auto.com.
You're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders Baseball, live on the Arena Sports Network.
Bottom of the third inning, 4-1 in favor of the Northwestern Wildcats. 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Cats. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for the Crusaders.
Good to see my cousin, a proud Valpo baseball alum,
nice.
Phil Farina, the former LaPorte High School product, who's in the record books, by the way. He's one of the career leaders in saves.
Nice.
During his tenure with Coach Emery Bauer.
Gotta love it.
And his younger brother, William, also a LaPorte High School star, went on to pitch for the Crusaders.
Joe Hoshide lines it to second and caught on the fly by Andy Burns. 1 down in the third. First pitch swinging again.
Phil lives just down yonder up north in Wilmette. His 2 lovely daughters, graduates of New Trier High School. And his lovely wife. Betty is a renowned artist. She's some beautiful artwork that she's done over the years, paintings and such.
Jake Schieber reached on an error, officially 0 for 1 stands in. And the pitch to Schieber is a fastball high for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 down here in the bottom of the third. From the windup, the pitch. Swing and a miss, and the count's even 1 ball, 1 strike.
He got on an error, which allowed the second run to score. Error on the shortstop.
4-1 Cats here in the bottom of the third. The pitch, swinging a foul on a play to the right. And the count is now 1-2.
Foreman has kind of, and this is maybe a bit of a stretch, but he has kind of a Greg Maddox look to him in terms of his delivery.
1-2 pitch. Fastball outside, and the count now even at 2-2.
Particularly his arm motion.
Well, Maddox had a rubber arm.
That's a guy you want to comp.
Maddox had a rubber arm. And great command.
You know, it makes you...
The 2-2 pitch. Fastball low and inside. The count goes full 3-2.
It's amazing that Bobby Cox and the Braves, with all those great teams, particularly the great teams with small...
Only won 1 World Series championship.
And Maddox only won 1 World Series. Exactly. Won a lot of division titles.
Yep.
But didn't get the brass ring except once.
Payoff is lined into left field and down for a base hit.
So Skiber gets on with the base hit to left. It's hit number 7 for the Wildcats.
And that'll bring Cody Stevens to the plate, who grounded back to the pitcher his first time up. I have a playful question for the PA announcer and the folks that work with him. I was just wonder if the players chose their own walk-up music. The pitch to Stevens is high and tight for ball 1.
They do.
They did. Okay, got a thumbs up for that. I think I asked you this before, Mark. What would your walk-up song be? Or has it changed?
Can't Get Enough, but Bad Company.
There you go. We got to find out some walk-up songs.
Yeah,
we got to find out some walk-up songs. Here's a ground ball headed towards second. Up with it is Burns. He'll take the short way to first. 2 down in the inning.
And Skiber goes over to second on that ground out.
And here's Antonio Frescott, who grounded back to the pitcher his first time up.
That was to lead off that 2-run second inning by
Indeed.
Wildcats.
The second baseman, number 4.
Foreman would love to get out of this inning.
Frescott.
And it looks like we've got some action now in the Valpo bullpen down the left field line, obscured by the trees in the backstop here.
That's why you're looking over there and I'm looking over here.
Well, I see body movement out there. I can't tell you who it is, but I can.
The pitch lined into left center field, a base hit.
And that's going to drive it
around third and headed home is Schieber. He will score 5-1. Dadgummit.
Get it right in the gap in left center field, and easy for Skiber to come all the way around to score from second base.
So a base hit in the left center field gets another run.
And it's the 2 out base hits that really hurt.
That kill you.
And we've unfortunately had a couple of them in this game.
Here's Nick Linney, who walked and scored back in the second inning. 5-1 Northwestern. They have 8 hits. Valparaiso has 3.
Number 8, Nick Linney.
Linney walked and scored in the second. The first of the 2 runs that the Wildcats
The runner
scored.
takes off. A swing and a miss. They got him picked. Throw the first. Not in time. Doggone it. Good job by Frescott getting back to first base.
A little bit of hesitation on the throw. Kind of a double clutch, if you will, by Ray Bartolomucci. If he'd been able to snap that throw, he would have had him.
Nick Linney stands in, and the pitch. Swing and a miss, and the count is 0-2.
The Wildcats have plated a run in each of the 3 innings, 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and here 1 so far here in the third.
Let's keep it at 1.
Absolutely.
The 0-2. Fastball outside. Good block by Bartolomucci. The count's 1-2. Here's a trend that I've seen the last few hitters with Foreman. He'll get ahead of the hitters, but unable to put them away. We've seen that 4 times now where he would get a 2-strike count on the hitter, be ahead 0-2. This being the 5th occasion. The 1-2, swing a line drive, past third and down the line. Around second is Frescott. He heads for third. He's there with a head first dive. Into second goes Linney. Second and third with 2 down.
We'll call it a base hit and an error. Base hit and an
base
error.
hit and an error on the third baseman.
Well, not on the third baseman. It's a base hit, and it was the error was on the left fielder, Michael Mormon, who bobbled the ball a couple of times, allowing the runners to advance.
And allowed both runners to advance a base, or allowed Lynn to get into second base. Second error of the game for the Crusaders. Now second and third with 2 down, and Luke Dowk, who is 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored, steps to the plate against Foreman.
With runners in scoring position at second and third.
Here's the pitch. Fastball low and inside, ball 1.
So the question is, will Brian Schmack pull the trigger if he gets on base? We'll find out.
Don't know. We'll see if he can get through this inning with just the 1 run scored. Second and third, 2 down here in the third. The pitch. Bouncing ball foul up the first base line. And we're leaving the count at 1-1.
In case you joined us late, it is a 5-1 lead for the Northwestern Wildcats here in Evanston. 2 in the first, 2 in the second, so far 1 here in the third with 2 out.
Foreman sets the chest, the pitch, swinging a drive toward right. This is trouble, and that is going to drop and roll for a while. 2 runs will come home. Into second goes Dowk. He'll stop there with a 2-run double. The error allows 2 runs to score. It is 7-1.
3 for 3, Dowk with 2 runs scored, and now 2 big RBIs.
2 singles and a double for Dowk.
And sure enough, Brian Schmack is making his way out. He's motioned to the bullpen for a lefty to come in. We'll take a break. Pitching change coming up. You're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders baseball here on the Arena Sports Network.
Upgrade your ride and lower your costs with a certified pre-owned vehicle from Sowers Ford. With a lower price and lower payments, you can lower your cost of driving in a vehicle that's new to you. Get a 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, 172-point inspection, 24-hour roadside assistance, and 3 months of SiriusXM satellite radio. 2.9% financing available to qualified buyers. You'll drive for less at Sowers Ford. Sowers Ford Lincoln, 3930 Franklin, Michigan City, 219-879-5381. Or visit us at SowersFord.com.
At Strachan Van Til, we just made saving on groceries even easier with our new building blocks of value. Just look for the new icons all around the store to find our weekly advertised specials, everyday smart buys, exclusive limited time offers, new lower prices, and even extra rewards. These bright, colorful icons are all about building honest, uncomplicated value, one block at a time, and giving you more ways to save every day. To learn more, visit ValueMeansMore.com today.
You're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders baseball live on the Arena Sports Network.
Time now for a gigahertz call to the bullpen, and it brings us who, Mr. Farina?
It brings in Jason Condit, and to the mound. Jason is a right-handed pitcher, a junior out of Putnam, Illinois. That is Illinois Central College in downstate Illinois. And the stats on Mr. Condit look like this. He comes in with a record of no record. He's making his 7th appearance, all of which have been in relief. A sparkling 1.35 earned run average, 6 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 9 hits, 3 runs, 1 of which was earned. He's walked a man and struck out a man, and he's also thrown 1 wild pitch.
And he'll see Zach Jones.
Baseman number 15, Zach Jones.
He'll see Zach Jones. And let's hope it stops there. 3 in for the Wildcats. They lead 7-1 here in the bottom of the 3rd. Jason Condit, the right-hander, now in with Luke Dowk at second base. Condit gives him a look and then comes home with a breaking ball high for ball 1. 7-1 Northwestern the lead. They have 10 hits on the afternoon so far. Valpo scored the first run of the game, but it's been all Wildcats since. The pitch on the way, fastball outside, 2-0.
And 4 different players for the Wildcats have picked up RBIs in this ball game. 2 of which have picked up 2 RBIs. And
the last 2 are huge. The pitch outside, 3-0.
Yes, of course, the 2-run double by Luke Dowk here in this inning. The 2 RBI single by Matt Hoppner, an RBI single by Scott Heelan, and an RBI single by Nick Linney.
The 3-0 on the way. Fastball strike right down the middle. The count's 3-1. Got a final from Game 1 for Valpo softball. They win 8-6. And my buddy Brandon Vickery with that update. I thank you for that. Update brought to you by Speedway, located on U.S. Highway 30 in Valparaiso. Next one, swung on, popped up. Into left center field. Manning comes over. He makes the catch with the sun in his face, and the side is retired.
3 runs, 4
but
hits, 1
error. 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, and 1 left. Mark Farina will take you through the middle innings as we head to the 4th. It is Northwestern 7 and Valparaiso 1. This is Valparaiso baseball against Northwestern. You're hearing it live on the Arena Sports Network.
At U.S. Tire and Automotive, you'll find passenger tires, performance tires, truck and SUV tires, and more from proven brands including Bridgestone, Firestone, and other leading industry names. conveniently located in Gary, Indiana, and providing great service to customers in Gary, Griffith, Hammond, Munster, and Highland, Indiana, U.S. Tire and Automotive offers brake service, alignments, oil changes, shocks and struts, tune-ups, and other valuable services to get your car, truck, minivan, or SUV back on the road. Give us a call at 219-884-4600 or drop us an email at info@ustire-auto.com. Mention this ad and receive a 10% discount on auto work or ask about our tire specials. U.S. Tire and Auto, servicing Gary, Indiana and Northwest Indiana since 1991.
You're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders Baseball, live on the Arena Sports Network.
7-1 Wildcats as we head to the fourth. Mark Farina, Brian So here with you from Rocky Miller Park here in Evanston, Illinois, as some of the players are dragging the infield. And I thought I thought I'd never see that in a college baseball game, but I'm seeing it now, and I'm kind of enjoying it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I say that, please hide the women and children. Mark Farina will take you through the middle innings. Here's Mark.
But it's not as colorful as the old Houston Astros used to do.
Oh,
with the Astrodome,
no.
With the
No.
ground crew dressed in astronaut outfits with the helmet and everything, dragging the infield. That goes back a bit of a ways. We go to the fourth inning, and we've got some work to do for the Crusaders as they trail at 7-1.
You had to give me that one.
You opened the door. I took it.
I did.
It'll be Michael Mormon, the number 5 hitter, followed by Nick Pallas, the first baseman, and then Andy Burns. Pallas will be making his first at-bat after coming in an injury situation, replacing Andrew Bynum.
No, I'll never get that image out of my head. Darn you.
Mormon is 0 for 1 in the ballgame. He struck out swinging to end the first inning. And he takes a ball for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. 7-1 the score. As Northwestern has scored in all 3 innings so far in the ballgame and scored multiple runs in all 3. This pitch is swung on. Hit deep. Left center field. This ball is off the wall on one bounce. And trotting into second base with a stand-up double is left fielder Michael Mormon.
That'll get a rally started.
He hit it where nobody was and easily walks into second base with a leadoff double here in the fourth. Good start for the Crusaders.
First baseman number 15, Nate Pallas.
And it'll bring up Nate Pallas, making his first at-bat in the ballgame after replacing Andrew Bynum. Bynum was 1 for 1 before he left, and unfortunately it was as he was trying to score from third that he came down with
an injury.
I think it was either an ankle or a possible groin injury. And the first pitch to the freshman Pallas is down low for ball 1.
Yeah, this is a good rally. There's still plenty of baseball left. Just got to chip away at the lead.
Pallas batting 163 in limited action this season. 4 runs scored, 8 hits. The right-handed batter. Facing relief pitcher
Evan Bramschreiber.
Bramschreiber.
Bramschreiber?
Not Bramschreiber. Get it right.
Y'all are just not going to let up with that.
No, not at all.
That's good.
Where'd you get those Croatian names thrown?
Oh, jeez.
2 balls, no strikes to count to Pallas. Pitch is a breaking ball for strike.
Hard breaking ball. Hard breaking ball.
More like a slider.
Mm-hmm.
But it had some real good break down low.
And a lot of giddy up to it.
So the count now runs 2-1.
You said Croatian names? I had a Lithuanian basketball team for an exhibition one year.
I'll tell you that story. Michael Mormon leading off from second. He had a leadoff double to start the inning. And this pitch is fouled off out towards the football practice facility.
Oh, you know what?
You know what? Complex.
When I was the PA man at Chicago State, the women were playing a Lithuanian team. This was 2000. And I was given 20 minutes to prepare.
Yeah, well, you should have had my wife there because she went to Maria High School on the south side, which was a heavily Lithuanian
I still would have been frightened.
She would have helped you out.
Somehow I did not make a mistake.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Pallas, the first baseman. Pitches up high, a fastball. Runs the count full to 3-2.
And I would not be surprised if Mr. Bramschreiber came back with another fastball.
Now the question is, do you protect the plate or you look for a walk?
you got the leadoff runner aboard. In this case, you don't take the bat off your shoulder unless it's right there.
3 ball, 2 strike, full count pitch coming from Bromschreiber. Outside, it's ball 4.
I knew it.
And Nick Pallas patiently coaxes a walk. And with nobody out, runners at first and second now for the Crusaders, who've done this. It's the 3rd time they've had runners at first and second in an inning.
And now is the time for them to capitalize on this chance.
And to bring up Andy Burns. Burns is officially looking for his first at bat. He laid down a perfect sacrifice bunt back to the pitcher.
He sure did.
In the 2nd inning. But he's got a duck at second base and one at first with nobody out here in the 4th inning. Pitch is swung out, popped up. It'll go foul, out of play. Possible souvenir.
No, this Northwestern kid will go get it.
Okay. I think it went past the grandstand. A very comfortable ballpark here. Nice press box. Comfortable seating.
And a beautiful view.
You don't see big college baseball facilities generally in the north. Unlike
we've seen one. We've seen one today. Those are minor league ballparks in the SEC, man.
Swung on a miss at a breaking ball, and he went fishing and missed. Lunging for that breaking ball.
Yes, he did.
So now he's in the hole 0-2.
The parks in the South, the SEC, the Big 12, the Pac-12, those are minor league ballparks.
Oh, yeah, amazing. And and of course, they're all natural grass, too.
Of course. I know one I would love to see would be Alex Box Stadium at LSU.
Michael Mormon forced the issue a little bit there. He has a very healthy lead from second. Caused Bromschreiber to pause for a second. Now he looks towards second and delivers pitch. Once again, he went lunging after a breaking ball and goes down on strike on 3 pitches.
Good pitch.
First out of the inning, still runners at first and second with 1 out, and it'll bring up J.P. Pacquiocco.
J.P. Pacquiocco.
Pacquiocco walked in the first inning but was left stranded.
All right, Pac-Man, we need you.
So let's see what he can do here with runners at first and second. Trailing 7-1. We got to get something going. Don't want to get too late into this ball game. Ground ball. This could be a double play ball. Shortstop will go to first.
Couldn't get the ball out of his glove.
And the runners will advance to second and third on the ground out 6-3 on the play by Pacquiocco. And now there are 2 out in the inning, but you have runners in scoring position at second and third for Ray Bartolomucci, the catcher. And he's 1 for 1 in the ball game. He's got a base hit to right in that 2nd inning.
Let's see if he can produce one of those seeing eye singles that Northwestern got in the early innings.
Well, let's see what this freshman can do. As Pallas, another freshman, if I'm correct, had coaxed a walk earlier in this inning. Bromschreiber's pitch right down the middle for strike 1.
Good pitch.
Fastball right down the middle. Couldn't have authored it any better on that one. Again, runners at second and third. Michael Mormon over at third. Nick Pallas over at second. 2 out in the 4th. And now Bartolomucci will call time and step out. No ball, 1 strike count to catcher Ray Bartolomucci, the number 9 hitter in the Crusaders lineup. And from the stretch, the pitch is in the dirt and outside for ball 1.
Bromschreiber has only thrown a few breaking balls, but they have been located perfectly.
Scott Heelan's been busy behind the plate.
Both catchers.
There's been a lot of movement on the ball.
Both catchers have been busy.
Count even 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 out. And Bromschreiber with the pitch, and that one's also low and a little bit outside for ball 2. You thought that was a strike.
Ooh.
That's why we're not the men in black.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're clear up here.
So the count runs 2 balls, 1 strike. Once again, Bromschreiber looks around, and his 2-1 pitch fouled back to the screen, evens the count at 2-2.
Good job getting a piece of it.
So Deuce is on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 out with 2 men on. at second and third for the Crusaders. Come on, Bartolomucci. Let's see if you can drive.
If he gives him another one there, he will take it to right.
And the 2-2 delivery as Bromschreiber looks towards third. And here he comes from the stretch. Ground ball. It is fouled down the third base side. And we'll do it again. Top of the order would be up next in the form of third baseman Spencer Mahoney.
We'll love to get him to the plate. Let me say hi to the good folks at LaporteCountyLife.com. My good friend Deanna Grimes that have been helping to spread our news as we bring our coverage to LaPorte County in Northwest Indiana.
I gave you a little tour of Berrien County and LaPorte County as well. 2-2 offering in the dirt. Nice stop again by Heelan. And it runs the count full.
Well, don't have to worry about putting the runners in.
Full count and 2 out.
Actually, you don't have to worry about that. They're where they need to be. They're going to stay put. The only way they're in motion is if the ball's in the gap.
Which we hope.
That would be great.
3-ball, 2-strike count to Bartolomucci. Bromschreiber swung on, fouled off, and it'll go up on the roof of the
Doink!
Football complex here at
It didn't hit the roof.
University.
It went between the buildings. It went between the buildings.
Wow. A bird has a souvenir. And would it be a seagull from here on the lake?
I don't want to talk about those doggone seagulls.
Oh, okay. 3-ball, 2-strike offering to Bartolomucci. Here it comes. Takes just high for ball 4. And once again, the bases are going to be loaded for the Crusaders. They had the bases loaded in the second inning.
Now
with 2 out.
For the Crusaders,
as Bartolomucci reaches base for the second time in this game with a walk.
Spencer Mahoney.
And I'll bring up Spencer Mahoney. He's one of the players who hasn't done a whole lot in this ball game. He's 0 for 2.
Boy, what a time would it be.
Leadoff hitter to get on base and win an opportunity right here. He's 0 for 2, grounding back.
Big opportunity.
First base to the pitcher in the first, and he flied out to end the second, flied out to left. This pitch is outside and high for ball 1, and now Heelan's going to take a walk on out and talk to his pitcher, Bromschreiber.
Who's knocking?
Come on in.
Oh, they're getting free shirts. They returned the foul ball, and they're getting free shirts.
That's very
I
nice.
love that.
I like that.
I love that.
Well, if you knew that, you'd be running after every one of them.
I would get only one, and that would be for my little one.
This pitch is in tight. No, he's going to call it a strike. He
right there on the
strike.
On the corner. It was on the corner.
Well, you missed one. I've missed one at least.
Like I said, I would get only one of those shirts, and that would be for Donna, my little darling.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out. Bases loaded. We're in the top of the 4th inning. And the pitch is upstairs for ball 2. 2-1 the count. Bromschreiber's thrown quite a few pitches in this inning.
That he has. Got to make a hard thrower like this work.
2 balls, 1 strike. Bases loaded with 2 out here in the 4th. 7-1, Northwestern leading our Valparaiso Crusaders. This pitch is outside line for ball 3.
Now then,
well, let's see if we can force it in with a walk. We'll take it.
Question is, will he be taking this next pitch?
Definitely.
You would take it. You would take it unless it's right in your wheelhouse, especially to a lefty.
Bromschreiber looks at third now. 3-1 offering to Spencer Mahoney. Line
Get
shot,
down.
but it's going to be caught by the left fielder to retire the side.
Second time I hang with him.
Hit it right on the button, but right at the left fielder for the Wildcats, Joe Hoskite. In the inning, no runs. There was 1 hit, a couple of walks, no errors, and 3 men left. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Rocky Miller Park in Evanston. Our score remains the Northwestern Wildcats 7, the Valparaiso Crusaders 1. You're listening to Valparaiso Crusader Baseball on the Arena Sports Network.
Have you heard the good news about a crazy dream based on a belief that positive breeds positive and that people want to read, hear, and watch stuff about good people? Have you heard the good news about a place you can go to enjoy positive, community-oriented information about the town, city, or region you live in and the people involved? Have you heard the good news about a place where you can celebrate what is right in the world, share it with your friends, family, and community, and neighbors at school, work, or place of worship, and have fun doing it? Well, there is such a place. That place is LaPorteCountyLife.com. LaPorteCountyLife.com is all about the positive, not the negative, bringing out the best and not the worst, and all about promoting positivity in your community. LaPorteCountyLife.com. Have you heard the good news? You're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders Baseball, live on the Arena Sports Network.
Go to the bottom of the fourth inning here in Evanston. 7-1,
the right fielder, number 19.
the Northwestern Wildcats lead the Valparaiso Crusaders, and it's not for lack of opportunities for the Crusaders. They've left 5 men on in the last 3 innings, including the bases loaded in the top of the fourth, top of this inning. And leading it off will be Matt Hoffner, the right fielder, who is 2 for 2 in this ballgame with a run scored and 2 RBIs. Pitches up high for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Jason Condit in his first full inning of relief, second inning of relief. And this pitch is swung and missed on a beautiful breaking ball.
Filthy.
And evens the count at 1-1.
Filthy. Why are you laughing at me?
Save that for the third strike. But it was filthy. You're right. 1 ball, 1 strike. So, Huffner, and that is a called strike on the outside corner for strike 2.
My knees buckled clear up here.
So now, Condit is ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Scott Heelan, the catcher, would be the next batter for the Wildcats. And let's see.
Oh, wow!
Strike. This time a slider on the inside corner catches Hoffner off guard, and he goes down on a called third strike.
Take that.
1 up, 1 down for the Wildcats in the fourth. And we'll bring up Scott Heelan, the catcher.
It's only the second time they've gotten the leadoff man out.
And it's also only the second strikeout of the ballgame. First for Condit.
Actually, I take that back. 3rd consecutive inning they've gotten the leadoff man out. My mistake.
Heelan in the ballgame is officially 1 for 2. That's a breaking ball for a strike.
Taste the rainbow.
Single to right, driving in a run in the first, and he grounded out into a double play, 6-4-3, to end the second. This pitch is swung on. It's going to drop in for a base hit in front of the center fielder, Mormon, and the Wildcats have a runner on.
Again.
They've done that in all 4 innings. Heelan has his second hit of the ballgame.
Fielder number 30, Joe Hoscheit.
Joe Hoscheit, the left fielder, will step up. I let him say it before I said it.
That's why I waited.
Hoscheit is officially 0 for 2 in the ballgame. He got on a fielder's choice ground out to the third baseman, and he lined out to the second baseman to lead off the third. Pitch was a little bit upstairs for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Hoscheit, with Scott Heelan leading off first base and with 1 out. From the stretch, Condit delivers, and it's just a little bit high for ball 2. 2 runs in the first and second innings for the Wildcats, and 3 in the third have given them the 7-1 lead after the Crusaders scored 1 in the top of the first inning.
Let's keep them off the board here.
2-0 offering is upstairs for ball 3. So he falls behind 3-0. Jake Skieber would be due up next, the center fielder. And he's been on base as well. Pitches a called strike for strike 1. Runs the count to 3-1.
Give him another one.
7 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for Northwestern, 1, 4, and 2 for the Crusaders. 3 balls, 1 strike to Hoscheit. Jake Condit from the stretch tosses the first and forces Heelan to go diving back in time.
Yeah, same company.
Count 3 balls, 1 strike to Hoscheit, the left fielder. And the 3-1 offering from Condit. is a called strike on the outside corner for strike 2.
Nasty.
Runs the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes, full count with 1 out and a runner at first. Once again, Condit takes a look at first from the stretch, and the full count offering to Hoshite. Swung on, popped up in the air, and it's going to go foul behind the first base dugout of the Northwestern Wildcats.
And more T-shirt kids are going after it.
They're hustling.
If I were that age, I would be too. And if little Donna was here, and if she was older enough, she'd be running after it also.
This pitch is low and outside for ball 4, so Hoshite's able to coax a walk and get on base. And on the play, Scott Heelan on the walk makes it to makes it over to second base. And now it'll bring up
number 17, Jake Schieber.
Jake Schieber, the center fielder, will step up. Schieber is officially 1 for 2 in the ball game. He got on an error by the shortstop in the first that allowed a run to score, and he singled to left, came around to score one of the 3 runs for the Wildcats in the third. Runners at first and second now with 1 out. And there's a breaking ball for a strike. Condit's looked good with his breaking pitch. He hasn't missed much.
You got to locate it, though, in this case. Have to locate it.
And you don't want to let it hang up in the air. Not with as aggressive a hitting team as the Wildcats can be. This is another breaking ball. This time it broke
not that
outside
time.
For a ball. Ball 1, strike 1. One's, of course, on the board. Ball 1, strike 1 with 1 out. And runners at first and second.
How about another double play?
Condit's 1-1 offering from the stretch. Takes a look at second base. Now from the stretch, the 1-1 offering. Swung on. That ball's trouble. It's in the gap, and it's going to go all the way to the wall.
That'll bring home a pair.
It's going to bring home a pair of runs, and as coming in to score on the late throw was Hoshite on the 2-run double by Jake Schieber.
Boy, oh boy.
And there was no doubt about that one into left center field.
Went to the well one too many times.
So 2 more runs are in, and we now have a 9-1 ball game in the lead for the Northwestern Wildcats. And one of the guys who hasn't done anything in this ball game will step up in the form of shortstop Cody Stevens. He's 0 for 2. I believe he's the only player who has taken the collars so far.
You realize what I just did?
Knock on wood. Stevens
grounded to the pitcher and grounded to second.
So he's 0 for 2, but he has a chance to drive in a run with a runner in scoring position and 1 out. Here's the 1 ball offering. That one is a little bit low for ball 2. So he falls behind, does Condit 2-0 to Cody Stevens. From the stretch once again, Condit's delivery, ground ball foul, scooped up by the third base coach of the Wildcats. The shadows have creeped over the grandstand to a certain amount, at least on the first base side. But the field bathed in the sun as it has been all day. Ground ball, couple hops to the second baseman. Toss on the first by Andy Burns is in time on the play. Jake Schieber makes it to third, advances to third.
Second time that Stevens is grounded to second base.
And Stevens has taken the collar so far, being 0 for 3, all on groundouts. So now 2 out with a runner at third and 2 runs in. Antonio Fresquet will step up to the plate. And Fresquet is 1 for 2 in the ballgame. He has a run scored and a base hit. That coming in the third inning. He had a base hit to left in the third. That's a called strike for strike 1.
I never answered my question about a walk-up song. You know what mine would be?
It would be.
Bang on the Drum, Todd Lundgren.
That should be the
one of them.
Yeah.
That would be one of them. That could be our universal theme.
That's true. I like that song. Ground ball, high hop to the third baseman. Toss on to first. In time, stretching.
Beautiful.
Callis to make the grab to retire the side. But unfortunately, in the inning, 2 more runs for the Northwestern Wildcats. There were 2 hits, there were no errors, and 1 man left. We are through 4 complete, with the Northwestern Wildcats holding a commanding 9-1 lead over the Valparaiso Crusaders. And you're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders Baseball on the Arena Sports Network.
Planning an upcoming event? The completely refurbished Diamond Club at U.S. Steel Yard is available year-round for birthday parties, wedding receptions, business meetings, conferences, and a wide variety of other activities. With a full-service bar and the ability to accommodate groups of up to 300 people, the Diamond Club is the perfect place to host your next event. Fully customizable food options through Aramark are also available. Call the Railcats at 219-882-2255 and have the Railcats fashion an event your friends, family, clients, or colleagues will never forget. The Gary South Shore Railcats, redefining fun.
At Strachan Van Til, everything we do is designed around you. From the uncompromising freshness down every aisle to the unbeatable quality you'll always find. It's the very best selection from choice meats to bakery. And getting honest value every single day, all with the friendly personal service and the savings that you deserve. That's built around you. That's Strachan Van Til. Visit svtgroceries.com today.
You're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders Baseball, live on the Arena Sports Network.
Time now for the ASN 5th Inning Trivia question, presented by TCF Bank, the official bank of the Arena Sports Network. And normally it's yours truly that provides the question, but my partner bogarted me into this one, and he has a good one, so I'm going to let him take it. Here's Mark.
Trivia question. Where was the first ever NCAA men's basketball Final Four and championship game played? Because, of course, we just saw the...
Oh, I know the answer to that.
But you can't say it. Where was that first NCAA tournament championship game played?
I know the answer to that. But I'm going to let you give the answer at the bottom of the inning.
And we have a new pitcher, by the way. His name is Jake Stully.
And a new center fielder.
As well.
And who the heck is it?
The new center fielder is
Josh
Perlmutter.
Perlmutter.
Tell us a little bit about Jake Stully.
Well,
nope, you got the wrong sheet.
Dadgummit, wrong one. This is why I needed...
That's the wrong one, too. Okay, I'll give you the right
darn
one.
it. Give me the right one, will you, please?
There you go.
Strike call begins the 5th inning. Jake Stoley, 0-1 on the year. This is his 6th appearance, all in relief with a 2.53 ERA. Next one's up. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's thrown 10 second one's up. 10 2/3. 9 hits, 7 runs, 3 of them earned. He's walked 12, struck out 6, opponents hitting 243 against him.
That pitch is swung on a breaking ball.
That's nasty. That's flat out.
Jeff Edwards went flailing after. Edwards is 1 for 2 in the ballgame with the 1 run scored for the Crusaders. He singled, and the first came around to score. This one's fouled down the third base line.
New center fielder as well, Josh Perlmutter.
Now, Edwards scored in the first inning. He also flied out to left to start the third, leading off the third. Second southpaw that we've seen today for the...
And he just threw a fork ball that Contreras would be proud of.
Second southpaw we've seen for the Wildcats' third pitcher, Dan Tyson, starting the game. This one's in the dirt. And it'll run the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter for the Valparaiso Crusaders, Jeff Edwards, the shortstop for the Crusaders. And here's the pitch. It's up high for ball 4, so Edwards coaxes a leadoff walk here in the 5th.
Maybe this will get us going.
And with a runner at first and nobody out, it'll bring up Chris Manning, the center fielder. Manning is 0 for 2 in the ballgame. He did get on an error that led to the first run, the only run for Valpo in the first. Error by the second baseman, and he also grounded out to the second baseman in the third. From the stretch, Stoley's pitch is up high for ball 1. Manning coming into today's game with a 260 batting average. He also shares the home run lead with 3, along with Karch Kowalczyk, and has 16 RBIs. And here's Stoley's pitch, swung out.
Ouch! Ouch!
Boo-boo, depending on where it hit.
Oh!
Tell you what, during the course of a season,
I think the folks, I think the folks in the press box love some of the stuff we come up with.
You're silly. There's no question about it. But that's why we love you. But, you know, the 2 guys that take the beating are obviously the home plate umpires.
Yeah,
during the course
and the
of the season,
catcher.
catchers. if you don't want to be bruised, catcher is not the place to play. That's a called strike on a breaking ball.
And if you really don't want to be bruised, an umpire isn't a profession you don't want to get into unless you're fully protected.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count.
I speak from experience.
Right. I've only done softball, not baseball. Pitch swung on. He reaches out for a ground ball. This is going to get the runner over to second as Manning grounds out to the shortstop, Cody Stevens, for out number 1. But on the play, Jeff Edwards advances over to second. And with 1 out and a runner in scoring position, it'll bring up the designated hitter, Karch Kowalczyk.
Coming in, hitting at 207 right now. You know what I'd love to see?
Well, he has the 1 RBI in the ball.
Yeah.
We'd like to see if we can get a second one right here.
How about 2 more?
That's possible. Wind not much of a factor today.
Good pitch.
That's a called strike on a slider.
Good pitch.
No balls, 1 strike now to Kowalczyk. Michael Mormon, the left fielder, would be due up next. From the stretch. Jolly's pitch swung on a breaking ball, and that was a filthy one there too. As Kowalczyk well off stride, kind of lunged for that, and he's in the hole.
I would too.
Yeah,
I'd be lunging for that one too.
It's great when you can throw a strike and force a swing and miss on the same type of pitch. So he's got him in the hole 0-2.
Going back inside.
And here comes the 0-2 offering. Swung on, popped it up. Shallow outfield towards center, and the shortstop will back up and make the catch a couple feet onto the outfield grass for out number 2.
Crusaders have now hit 9-4 so far as they bat here in the 5th. Our next broadcast of Valparaiso baseball will come your way Saturday. Game 2 of 3 against Youngstown State. Noon pitch. Yours truly, Brian Snow, will fly solo for that. Considering Mark's going to leave me and do Riverside Brookfield PA assignment. No, I'm kidding about that, but I'll fly solo for the call. Noon pitch, 11:45 pregame.
Well, I got a doubleheader Saturday with RB and Garen Prep in Brookfield.
What time's the first pitch of that game?
2 out runner at second. Michael Mormon in the ballgame is 1 for 2 in the ballgame. He struck out swinging to end the first. Led off with a double in the 4th, but was left stranded. That's when the Crusaders left the bases loaded without scoring. That ball's in the dirt. Thinking about it for a moment was Jeff Edwards. He was about halfway between second and third, but decided against it and made his way back to second.
You're not going to get me.
I think it was wide.
You're not going to get me.
Wise move by Mr. Morgan, because I think he would have been dead.
He would have been toast.
Nick Pallas, the first baseman, is due up next. And here's the 1-1 offering to Mormon. And it's a breaking ball strike right down.
Yipe!
Right down Broadway on that one.
Greg Maddox
and got him in the hole. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Runner at second. Here in the 5th inning with Northwestern leading it 9-1. And here's Jolly's offering. Fouled back into the screen. Jake Stolley. I've been saying Jolly. It's Jake Stolley. Get it right.
Now we're even.
I doubt Mr. and Mrs. Stolley are listening anyways, but that's beside the point.
They probably are.
Pitch is swung on. This is fouled off again, and we're going to get the kids chasing after it on the first base side.
And
the dugout.
As I said, now we're even.
That's right. Yes.
What time's your first pitch for RB against Garen?
I think it's a 1:30 or 2 o'clock. I have to take a look.
Okay.
It's in the afternoon. And I've got them tomorrow, as a matter of fact. Got them
nice.
Against the St. Joe's Chargers. A couple of non-conference games. This one's popped up into right field. Right fielder will come in, make a couple steps, make the easy catch for out number 3. In the inning, no runs or hits. There was a walk, 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Our score remains the Northwestern Wildcats 9, the Valparaiso Crusaders 1. And you're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders baseball here on the Arena Sports Network.
At Midwest Interventional Spine Specialists, you can trust in Northwest Indiana's first team in pain management. For more than a decade, the MIST team has proudly served the residents of Northwest Indiana, providing accurate diagnosis and innovative treatments for spinal pain and many other types of acute and chronic pain. Each of our physicians has achieved board certification in as many as 3 different specialties. They are actively involved in ongoing research that keeps their practice on the leading edge of the profession and are often called upon by area hospitals to lecture on pain management. Over the years, each has been recognized as a leader in the field and earned a strong reputation for delivering excellent results and genuine compassionate care. To them, nothing is more rewarding than helping patients with severe pain regain the kind of normal, active life that the rest of us take for granted. For more information, pay us a visit at 8840 Calumet Avenue, Suite 103 in Munster, or give us a call at 219-836-7246. The Midwest Interventional Spine Specialist, first in proven pain solutions, first in patient care.
We have a few changes in the defensive lineup for Valparaiso.
Yeah.
Let's get some of his other players in, trailing 9-1.
Now in the outfield,
but it's still the same battery in the form of Jason Condit.
Schneider. And batting for Northwestern, number 8, Nick Linney.
Nick Linney will lead it off here in the 5th inning for Northwestern. Linney is 1 for 2 in the ballgame, a couple runs scored. He walked, singled, drove in a run, and scored in the 3rd inning. So an efficient job by the shortstop, by the third baseman. And this pitch is swung on. Trouble, dropping, and it will...
He got it! No, he didn't.
He trapped it. And then the ball got away, and Linney will slide into second base with a double. Leadoff double for Linney here in the 5th. And they've had a runner on in every inning and have been able to score in every inning.
Now batting for Northwestern.
Great chance, great opportunity. Diving for it was J.P. Pacquiao, but he couldn't hold on to the ball.
Oh, we all the fans of Trivia Answer. 8th and 5th inning Trivia Answer presented by TCF Bank. Mark?
Well, let's see what Luke Dock does first.
That answer your question?
Lays down the bunt. And
that's
going to be a base
hit.
I think, yep, he does.
Infield hit.
Placed it perfectly between the pitcher, the first baseman, and the second baseman. No play at first.
He is 4 for 4.
Pinch hitter 34, Mike Trucco.
A bunt. We'll call it a bunt 3 because it was towards the first baseman. And yes, he is 4 for 4, and now they've got runners at first and second with nobody out. And it brings up Zach. Well, let's see. We've got a different ball player, pinch hitter for Northwestern. This is Mike Trucco.
Now pinch hitting for the Wildcats, number 34, Mike Trucco.
Mike Trucco batting for Zach Jones, and probably will go in to play first base, I'm guessing.
Probably.
Trucco out of River Forest, a Fenwick Friar. He has a pinch hitter here. He's got a chance to drive and run. Pitches up high for ball 1. The answer to that question, where was the first NCAA men's basketball championship and Final Four? It was right next door to us at McGaw Hall, which is now renamed Welsh Ryan Arena, but still the same building. This pitch is up high for ball 2. First one.
Very first one, yep.
And it has grown a little bit, just a tad.
Just a tad.
How many did they have last night at the AT&T Cowboys?
85,000.
Amazing. And a worldwide audience of sorts. That
you
pitch
think?
is up high for ball 3. Yeah, it's grown a little bit from roughly 8,000 seats here to
80. 10 times that.
Exactly.
10 times that.
It's amazing when you think about it.
It is.
3-0 offering is a called strike on a breaking ball in the inside corner. Runs the count to 3-1 to Trucco.
I can tell you it set a record.
I know that they were talking that it would set a record. They didn't get a sellout, but still.
They did. They didn't get a sellout?
I don't think so.
I'm surprised.
That's ball 4. So now Jones is on, and we've got the bases loaded and nobody out. Actually, that was Trucco, the pinch hitter, coaxing a walk.
Now batting the right fielder.
So
now they're getting ready to put this out of reach.
Bases loaded, nobody out. And Matt Hoffner will step up, and he is 2 for 2 in the ballgame with a run scored. 2 runs batted in on a base hit in the second. single in the first and a run scored, and he struck out on a called third strike, leading off the fourth, and he can do some real damage right here. The pitch is a called strike for strike one.
And
I'm trying to see, just double check the mercy rule, how that works. We don't have one. Okay, I wasn't sure how that worked.
I don't think that.
Well, depends. Depends on the league, actually. That ball's fouled off by Hoffner. It is 9-1, but the Wildcats threatening again. They've played it a run in every.
The men's national championship last night.
And they go for the women's tonight against Notre Dame.
And they try to repeat what only they have done in 2004, and that is a championship sweep.
That's right. Calhoun did it with the men back then.
Yep.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Love is the
and it's the first ever, by the way, first ever NCAA women's championship game with two undefeated teams.
Two undefeateds.
Two Titans. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Call to the pen here as the Northwestern Wildcats lead it 10-1 and all here on the Arena Sports Network.
Hey, can I talk to you for a second? Come on over. How do you feel about mobile banking?
If I could sum it up in one word, easy. It's so convenient. I actually do a lot of my banking on a mobile app.
Yeah, it's really helpful. I love mobile banking. With the TCF mobile app, you can bank anytime, anywhere. So how would you use it?
If I need to check my balance really quick, or if I need to transfer funds really quick, I'll whip out my phone and do the little app.
At the airport yesterday when my flight got canceled and I needed to buy another ticket.
What's the craziest place where you've banked on your phone?
In the bathroom. Before I got in the shower.
Yeah.
Probably a plane when you're not supposed to be on your phone. They tell you to turn it off.
In bed.
I was in Morocco in the middle of the desert.
Morocco?
Yeah.
There isn't a crazy place for mobile banking. It's convenient.
Download the free TCF mobile app for your smartphone and tablet. Switch to the home of free checking today. For locations and more information, call 1-855-OPEN-TCF or go to tcfbank.com. TCF Bank. Surprisingly connected. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders Baseball, live on the Arena Sports Network.
Ethan Gasparo is the new pitcher for the Valparaiso Crusaders. Gasparo out of Glen Ellen's Glenbard South, his first pitch. He has a ball to pinch hitter Cody Libman, and he'll stay in the ball game as a catcher as he pinch hits for Scott Heelan with the bases loaded and still nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth. Swung on. This one's hit high. It's going to drive in a run. Center fielder is there, makes the catch. Tagging up and going to third is Mike Trucco. So an RBI sac fly to center, and it is now a 12-1 ball game. As coming in to score was Luke Delk. Delk has been on base 4 times and scored 3 runs. That is what you want your leadoff hitter to do.
Yes.
Joe Hoshite.
And I'll bring up Joe Hoshite. Hoshite's been on base once, actually been on base twice. He got on a fielder's choice force play in the first, and also lined out to the second baseman and walked and scored in the fourth. So he's officially 0 for 2 with a walk.
Here's your answer. Attendance last night. Championship game record 79,238.
Wow, that's amazing.
Two-session record 158,682.
Yeah,
Youch.
March Madness is big time nowadays.
Yes, it has.
It's been for a while. That pitch is fouled off again. Both times he's fouled the ball back towards the dugout on the third base side of the Valparaiso Crusaders. So he's in the hole 0-2 with runners at the corners and one out and a couple runs in. And here comes the 0-2 offering in the dirt. And a good stop by the catcher for the Crusaders.
Bartolomucci.
1 ball, 2 strikes, the count. 1 out, runners in the corners. Pitch is swung on, ground ball to third. Toss over to second is in time. Toss over to first.
Nope.
Gets away. A run will score. But the batter did not advance, and you can't assume a double play, so that'll be considered a
Fielder's
hit.
choice.
And RBI for Hoshite. Fielder's choice 5. Coming around to score was
Center
Trucco.
fielder number 21.
And rubbed out on the
Josh
plate was
Perlmutter.
So 2 out now with a runner at first and 3 more runs scored. And it brings up Perlmutter, who came in defensively in the last inning.
Perlmutter.
Josh Perlmutter from Gahanna, Ohio. I'm not real familiar with the town.
Neither am I, and I'm not even going to pretend like I am.
Of course, this is
Yeah, you read the wrong name, dude. He's from Glencoe.
okay. That is true. He is from Glencoe. He's just right up the line up here. At a Trevian. Thank you. It has been all Northwestern since practically the first inning. They've scored in every inning in this game. They lead at 12-1. This one's in the dirt and outside.
Second time they put 3 on the board.
Ethan Gasparo in relief. He's a Glen Bard South product, freshman, right-handed pitcher for the Crusaders. This pitch is swung on, fouled off, and it'll go doink on the roof, I believe, or over the football facility.
Over the roof. Since 2000, these teams have split their last 12 meetings.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, runner at first, 3 runs in. This is in the dirt. Again, good stop by Bartolomucci to hold the runner from first, waltz into second. Cody Stevens would be due up next, I believe. Yes, he's on deck. With all the changes that we've seen.
Good old Wikipedia.
3-2 pitch. The runner goes.
Foul.
A piece of it, fouled it off. And we'll do it all over again. As Sheever will make his way back to first. 12-1. Not much more you can say. 12 runs, 15 hits, 1 error for Northwestern. 1-4-2 for the Crusaders of Valparaiso.
They've had their chances, though.
That's true. Early in the ballgame, certainly they had their chance. This one's in the dirt for ball 4. So now runners at first and second with 2 out. That is the second walk in the inning, given up by Ethan Gasparo in relief.
Now at bat.
And that'll bring the 8th man in the inning to the plate.
O'Shea moves on over to second, and I'll bring up Cody Stevens. Stevens wants to get part of this party. He is 0 for 3 in the ballgame, grounding out 3 times, twice to the second baseman, once back to the pitcher. So he'd like to contribute to the party.
He'd like to have a little bit of fun with this.
Called strikeout on the first pitch, so he's in the hole 0-1. Gasparo takes a glance at second from the stretch, and the 0-1 offering. Ground ball, this one to the shortstop. He'll underhand it to his second baseman to retire the side. In the inning, however, there were 3 more runs on a total of 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 men left. We are through 5 complete here at Rocky Miller Park in Evanston. And the Northwestern Wildcats with a commanding 12-1 lead over the Valparaiso Crusaders. You're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders baseball here on the Arena Sports Network.
Gigahertz, providing customers with excellent service since 2008. Computer problem? Leave it to the staff at Gigahertz, priding themselves with an unparalleled work ethic and continuing to offer customers the lowest prices around. Gigahertz services include PC repair, networking, PC setup, custom PC builds, pickup and delivery, in addition to in-home and in-office service. Get small to large business solutions, service contracts, and much more. Computer problems? Gigahertz. And that's where we come in. Gigahertz for your computer repair and solution needs. In-home, in-store, wherever it's convenient for you. Think your PC's infected? Gigahertz offers free virus diagnostics, with most virus removals done in 48 hours or less. Plus, they'll optimize your PC. Take that, Best Buy. Give Gigahertz a call. 219-218-9323. That's 219-218-9323. Or log on to gigahertzpc.net. Gigahertz, and that's where we come in.
You're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders baseball live on the Arena Sports Network.
We go to the top of the sixth inning, 12-1. Northwestern with a commanding lead over the Valparaiso Crusaders here at Rocky Miller Park on the campus of Northwestern University in Evanston. It'll be the first baseman, Nick Pallas. He'll lead it off, I believe. Yes, Nick Pallas will lead it off. He'll then be followed by Kyle Schneider, and then J.P. Pacquiocco.
And batting for... And we got a new pitcher for Northwestern. Nick the Friar is in. Nick Friar making his 12th appearance. 7.91 ERA, no record. He owns a save. 19 and a third innings pitched. 19 hits, 18 runs, 17 of them earned. He's walked 12, struck out the same amount. He's thrown 4 doubles, a triple, hasn't thrown a home run. Opponents are hitting .268 against him.
So Pallas will come up for the second time in the ballgame. He walked in the fourth after replacing Andrew Bynum, who suffered a bit of a leg injury of sorts, possible ankle. This one's popped up. It is playable. And the first baseman cannot make the grab as it stumbles near the dugout and also near the warning track by the backstop. So we'll do it again.
Mike Trucco is now over at first base for NU. Behind the plate, Cody, don't give me no lip, man.
So Trucco's over.
Holscheid, I believe Holscheid is at third.
Linney's in left.
And Linney is in left.
Okay.
So they just switched.
No balls, 1 strike to count to Pallas, and this one is a little bit low for ball 1, evens the count at 1-1. If they want to get back in the game, they're going to have to get some runs on the board.
And they have to do it quick.
Well, you can. The trick is get the runs on, but also
get them in.
Hold the other team as well. That's a called strike. Even runs the count to 1 and 2. $12 runs on 15 hits for Northwestern. 1 run on 4 hits for the Crusaders. This pitch is outside.
Kind of figured he was going with a curveball.
Well, you know, Northwestern very much playing like a Big Ten team today, as they've taken advantage of everything that Valparaiso has given them, including a couple of errors. 2-2 offering, ground ball, couple high hop to the third baseman. Tosses in time for out number 1. And we'll see for the first time in the ball game, Kyle Schneider step up to the plate.
Number 41, Kyle Schneider.
Schneider came in to second base in the last inning, so this will be his first plate appearance of the ball game. Andy Burns was 0 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt and a strikeout in his 2 plate appearances. That pitch is down low for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Kyle Schneider. Schneider out of Mishawaka, Indiana. Down the road at Penn High School. Ground ball, shortstop, long throw, strong throw 2 up, 2 down. 2 groundouts.
Penn Kingsman out of Mishawaka, Indiana.
Now with 2 out to bring up the right fielder, J.P. Pakioko.
All right, Pac-Man. Let's get something going here.
Pakioko is 1 for 1 in the ballgame with a walk. He walked, but was left stranded along with 2 of his teammates in the second, and he grounded out to the third baseman in the fourth. Called strike for strike 1 on Pakioko. Ray Bartolomucci, his Italian-American teammate, will step up. You were waiting for that one, right?
Uh-huh.
That's a call
filthy.
That was a great curveball. Great breaking pitch. Outside corner for strike 2.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he came back with another one.
No balls, 2 strikes the count.
And you didn't text me that you were there?
It's a nice, beautiful press box. You were very protective.
Bye-bye.
Breaking ball swung on and missed for strike 2. Returns to center. 3 up, 3 down for the Crusaders as they continue to trail the Northwestern Wildcats. It's Northwestern 12. The Valparaiso Crusaders 1. Taking us down to the bottom of the 6th inning we go. And you're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders baseball here on the Arena Sports Network.
Have you heard the good news about a company that started 4 years ago and worked at a relentless pace based entirely upon one simple premise? Have you heard the good news about a place you can go to enjoy positive, community-oriented information about the town, city, or region that you live in and the people involved? Have you heard the good news that you yourself can share stories about this same theme to others in your community? That place is LaPorteCountyLife.com. At LaPorteCountyLife.com, you can celebrate a company that had a crazy dream based on a belief that positive breeds positive, and that people want to read, hear, and watch stuff about good people. At LaPorteCountyLife.com, you can go to a place to enjoy positive, community-oriented information about the town, city, or region that you live in and the people involved. Want to see more? Want to read more? Want to hear more? Then go to LaPorteCountyLife.com. Have you heard the good news? You're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders Baseball, live on the Arena Sports Network.
Bottom of the order coming up in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Now at bat, the second baseman, number 4, Antonio Prescott.
I think he's leaning off this.
I think you heard that. Yes, that was Antonio. I'll let him do the introduction. Antonio Prescott is stepping up to the plate. He is officially 1 for 2 in the ballgame with a run scored and a ground out. Grounds this one to the shortstop on a high hop for out number 1 as shortstop for the Crusaders scooped it, Jeff Edwards. So 1 up, 1 down here in the 6th, and the number 9 hitter.
27, Reed Hunter.
It's going to be a pinch hitter for the Wildcats. This is number 27, Reed Hunter of Tucson, Arizona, a junior. He will replace Linney, and all that Nick Linney did in this ball game
was drive us completely bleeping mad. Well, 2 for 2, 3 runs scored, a walk,
and a run scored, and a run batted in as well. They had it from the number 9 hitter and from the leadoff hitter.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about efficiency. That's a called strike on the outside corner for strike 1 to Reed Hunter.
Hunter had a hitting .325 coming into today.
Nobody on base, 1 out here. And that is a called strike on the outside corner for strike 1. Or strike 2, rather. He's in the hole 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Upstairs for ball 1. Runs the count to 1-2. And Luke Dowk is on deck, and he has been a hitting machine for the Wildcats.
Luke Dowk has been a pest today.
And you know, it's 12 runs without a home run.
Yep.
We've just been able to place him everywhere.
But where our fielders have not been.
That ball is
fouled what
off.
A catch!
Fouled off. Oh, he missed it.
He missed it?
Thought he had a catch.
Darn it.
Foul ball right behind the dugout in the grandstand section. And
thought that young fan got it.
He got it. A fine attempt. Who was it? Was it Cincinnati or was it Baltimore that used to give the contract?
Baltimore.
And
when the PA man would say, give that guy a contract.
That's right. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Reed Hunter. This one's fouled back.
How did he get a piece of that one?
And he's still in the hole, 1 ball, 2 strikes. This is just what the doctor ordered for Northwestern. But we'll have to talk to the doctor about the Crusaders. And
we'll talk to the doctor this weekend.
And he got hit on that one. He got hit in the back near the left shoulder.
Oh, that's going to sting.
That will sting. So Hunter, in his first plate appearance, will take it for the team. And we'll go to first base. And with 1 out and a runner at first, it'll bring up the top of the order. And
this
Luke
guy.
Yeah.
This guy.
All Luke Dowd has done in this ballgame is go 4 for 4 with 3 runs scored, 2 RBIs. And he's been able to do it to different fields as well.
That he has.
I'm trying to remember. He had a double, I believe, in the 3rd. I didn't mark where it was.
Let's see. Dowd has singled 3 times. He doubled to left center in the 3rd, driving in 2 runs. And he scored 3 runs. What your leadoff hitter is supposed to do.
Absolutely. Pitches outside. Runs the count to 2-0 to Dowd. He'll be followed by Mike Trucco, who came in the last inning, replacing Zach Jones at first base. 2-0. Offering is swung on a miss on a beautiful breaking pitch. Had him completely off stride. Did.
First time he's looked
Ethan
bad.
Gasparo.
You figured it was going to be that kind of day for Luke Dowd when he took the first pitch that he saw and lined it into left center field.
That's right. Didn't waste any time. This pitch is swung on and missed on another. This time more of a slider. And a high slider at that. Evens the count at 2-2. So let's see if Gasparo, down 0-2, can come all the way back and strike him out. Gasparo from the stretch. And his 2-2 offering. In tight, almost hit Dowd this time, but it'll run the count to full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner from first with 1 out. Pitch swung on a miss on a beautiful breaking pitch, and finally
we got rid of him.
5 at bats. Luke Dowd is finally retired.
We finally got rid of Luke Dowd, but he has done his damage.
So 2 out with the runner at first, and I'll bring up Mike Trucco. Trucco in his first appearance in the game in the 5th.
Mike Trucco.
Trucco took a walk and scored in the 5th. And he'd like to see if he can get on base with his bat this time. And 2 out. And there's a pitch that's just a little bit outside for ball 1. And I know you were looking for a strike on that one. You just see your body language. The thing that people can't see is the announcer's body language during the game. This one is a called strike, pretty much the same spot. Evens the count at 1-1. Once again, we'll be on the air on the web on Saturday at Emery Bauer Field. This pitch is grounded. It will be
fair
a
ball.
fair ball.
Fair
Tough
ball.
chance for the third baseman. Toss is not in time. An infield hit for Mike Trucco. Not a whole lot that the third baseman who's in the ballgame now, Michael Mormon has moved over to third base.
Hoffner.
He would have had to have thrown a rocket to get him out on that
Matt Hoffner.
So here's Matt Hoffner.
All right, we heard you. We heard you.
Called the wrong name the first time.
Okay, I've done that before. Don't worry.
Yeah, I've done that too.
Well, let's just slide.
I've done that too.
Matt Hoffner will step up, and he's got 3 hits in this ballgame and 3 runs batted in and a run scored. He singled to right in the first inning, came around to score. Singled to right in the second, drive in a couple of runs. Struck out on a called third in the 4th to lead off the 4th. And then singled and drove in a run in the 5th. And he's in the hole, not in the hole, but he has a 1-0 count. Runners now at first and second with 2 out here in the 6th. And the pitch, Hoffner fouls it off, back. Another souvenir of sorts. Evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. He'll be followed by Cody Libman, who came in relief at catcher for Scott Keelan last inning. This pitch is swung on. He hits it high and deep, but it's playable. And backing up and making the catch is the left fielder to make the put out and retire the side. In the inning, first time that the Wildcats have gone and not scored a run. They get a hit batter and 2 men left. We go to the top of the 7th inning. Brian Snow will bring you the rest of the way with the score remaining. The Northwestern Wildcats 12, the Valparaiso Crusaders 1. You're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders Baseball on the Arena Sports Network.
Hey, you guys, could I ask you a couple questions?
Okay.
Saving money, what's it like for you?
Well, I'm an artist, so it happens sporadically.
But it does happen?
It does happen, and when it happens, it feels really, really good.
With easier savings at TCF Bank, what would you save for?
Oh, clothes and shoes. Housing repairs.
To buy a new car. I'm saving for grad school.
And then I'm hoping to just save up, just to have savings, period.
What would make it easier to save money?
Having like a sugar mama.
Which isn't a bad plan, but if you needed a little banking plan or something, what would make it easier?
Something with an
automatic transfer?
Something with an automatic transfer, probably.
So you wouldn't even notice the money?
Automatically transferred.
Automagical.
Automagical, oh my gosh.
How much could you save if saving were actually easy? Open an account at the home of free checking today and find out. For locations and more information, call 1-855-OPEN-TCF or go to tcfbank.com. TCF Bank. Surprisingly simple. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders Baseball, live on the Arena Sports Network.
We go to the top of the 7th inning, 12-1. The Northwestern Wildcats leading our Valparaiso Crusaders. And Brian, it's been one of those days. We don't think you say, Mama told me we'd have days like this.
We have days like this, exactly.
And but you got to give credit to the Wildcats. They've taken advantage of every opportunity that has been placed in front of them, and have played very much like
including 2 errors,
like a big Division I school,
including 2 errors by Valparaiso. New pitcher for Northwestern, and his name is Jack Livingston, and the double nickel is 0-2 on the year. 9th appearance with a 4.96 ERA, 16 1/3 innings pitched. 19 hits, 13 runs, 9 of them earned. He's walked 9, struck out 14, and opponents are hitting .292 against him.
Jack Livingston, I presume.
Big Jack, 6'5", 2 1/4, out of Kalamazoo, Michigan.
And you're right, he's a big boy, 6'5".
Yep, he is from Kalamazoo, Michigan. We go to the 7th. And Ray Bartolomucci will face Big Jack. The pitch, swinging a line drive toward right, dropping, and down for a base hit.
So Bartolomucci gets on with his 2nd hit of the ball game.
That's our first hit since the 4th inning. And Bartolomucci is 2 for 2 with a walk.
And both hits have been to the opposite field for Bartolomucci.
And here is Spencer Mahoney, who has drawn the collar. He is 0 for 3 with 2 flyouts to left and a ground out to first with the pitcher covering. 5th hit for the Crusaders this afternoon. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside, ball 1 from Livingston. 1 ball, no strikes, nobody out. And Bartolomucci aboard. Here in the top of the 7th inning, 12-1 Northwestern the lead. Out of the stretch, the kick and the pitch. Fastball high, and the count is now 2-0.
If you want to point to difference in the ball game, besides obviously the hits and everything, it's the leadoff hitters, the number 1 hitters. Spencer's taking a collar for us, while Lauk has 4 hits.
Lauk has killed us.
Yeah, and that's what you want your
exactly.
Your number 1 hitter to do.
2-0 the count to Mahoney. Bartolomucci on at first as he steps off to a lead. As Livingston sets the belt, the kick and the pitch. Fastball outside, and the count's now 3-0.
I believe Jeff Edwards would be up next. Yes, there he is. He's been on base a couple times and scored the only run of the ballgame for the Crusaders.
Gave him an early 1-0 lead. The pitch on the way. Fastball strike right down the middle, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Bartolomucci away at first. As Livingston gives him a look and now comes to the set position. And the 3-1 on the way. Ground ball headed to the left side. Up at third. He dropped it, picked it up, throws, safe!
So we get a break. We're going to count that as an error on the third baseman.
2nd error of the ball game by Northwestern as Holscheid picked it up and then dropped it.
The shortstop, number 11.
And that'll bring Jeff Edwards to the plate. Each team now with 2 errors in the game.
This is the 4th inning that we've been able to get a couple of runners on with either no outs or 1 out.
And not much success. Jeff Edwards now to the plate hitting .240 at this juncture. As Livingston comes home, inside corner strike with a fastball. The count's 0-1.
I see somebody with a radar gun below us.
I'm not stealing that toy.
I'm just curious.
I know.
Had a few scouts out for both teams this year. We had a couple scouts out on Sunday in Valpo.
Yeah. The 0-1 swinging a miss on a breaking ball, and the count's 0-2 to Jeff Edwards.
Edwards with a walk, a base hit, and a flyout, and a run scored.
0-2 the count, nobody out. Bartolomucci at second, and Mahoney at first. On with an error. Bartolomucci single to start the inning. The 0-2 to Edwards. Fastball low, blocked beautifully by Libman, and the count's 1-2.
And like I said, both catchers have had a lot of activity behind the plate because we've had a number of breaking ball pitchers that have challenged them. The catching position is not for the faint of heart.
Nor the immobile.
That's right.
1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 on for the Crusaders. The 1-2. Breaking ball inside, and the count's now even at 2-2.
You know, a lot of these catchers, you know, they learn the game so well because they're in on every pitch. They wind up being pretty good coaches later on if they go into coaching.
2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Bartolomucci at second and Mahoney at first. First 2 runners to reach here in the 7th inning. Livingston out of the stretch, the 2-2. Curveball low, missed it, and the count goes full at 3-2.
It was low, and it didn't quite break enough over the plate.
Let's see if Livingston will come back with that pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the top of the 7th as Valparaiso looks to put a rally together. Livingston sets at the belt. The payoff pitch is ball 4. That'll load him up.
And it's the second time in the ballgame we've had the bases loaded.
And nobody out. Chance to really take advantage. Strange things can happen in the game of baseball.
Edwards coaxing his second walk. He's been on base 3 times in the ballgame now.
Just ask the Seattle Mariners from 2001. Mark Johnson now steps up in place of Chris Manning. Johnson came in as a defensive replacement in the 5th. And the pitch to Mark. It's a fastball outside, ball 1.
Manning, when he was in the ballgame, was officially 0 for 3. He got on an error in the first and then grounded out to the infield, to the second baseman and to the shortstop.
And that prompts a conference on the mound from Libman saying a couple of words to Livingston, who was allowed a single, then an error, and a base on balls to begin the 7th.
Let's start to make it interesting, at the very least.
At the very least.
No wind. The flags are all limp throughout the ballpark.
Livingston sets and deals. A swing and a pop-up left side and twisting foul.
Out by the bullpen.
That'll even the count at a ball and a strike.
It's interesting when you're on the lakefront, basically, which we are, and you don't see any wind.
Very interesting. But we do see some clouds rolling
get
in.
a camera. You don't see that too often.
But we do see some clouds rolling in.
They don't call it the Limp City.
They call it the Windy City. A ball, a strike, nobody out. Bases full of Crusaders as Livingston sets at the belt. The pitch. Fastball outside, and it's 2-1. If Livingston does not retire Mark Johnson, this may bring a move out of the Northwestern pen. 2 balls, a strike. Livingston sets the belt. The 2-1. A swing and a shot toward right, and that'll get down for a base hit. Bartolomucci will trot home. Everybody else moves up a base at 12-2. 6th hit of the afternoon for the Crusaders. Mark Johnson drives in Bartolomucci from third. Bases remain loaded, nobody out, and it's a 12-2 game.
And here's a guy that could make it real interesting. Well, Karch isn't. We're going to have a pinch hitter. For a moment, I thought it was Karch, but
now
it is
at
not.
bat, pinch hitting for
Well,
Valparaiso.
It's
number 27.
It's Grant Yoder.
Grant Yoder. Well, Yoder can still make it interesting. There are no outs here in the 7th inning.
So
Yoder at 118 coming into this at bat. The pitch to Yoder. Curveball strike on the corner, and the count's 0-1.
And he will remain in the ballgame as the DH, no doubt.
0-1 the count. Nobody out. Top of the 7th inning. A run home for Valparaiso. They have 2 hits this inning. Their first hits since the 4th. As Livingston sets, kicks, deals. Bouncing ball foul up the first baseline into the Northwestern dugout. Or right outside the Northwestern dugout. And the count's 0-2 to Yoder.
Did you know that during Paul Stevens' 26 seasons, he has sent 62 players that have been either drafted or signed
Nice.
by a major league club? And that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot for any school, but particularly for a northern school. We don't get as much baseball play here because of the weather.
Right.
And oftentimes tend to get a little bit overlooked.
Here's the 0-2. A breaking ball bounced in front of the plate. Lippman couldn't locate it. Livingston did. And the count is now 1-2 to Yoder.
But he kept it in front of him.
He did. He did that. A base hit here would make things very interesting. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count.
And Paul Stevens played his college ball down in Romeoville at Lewis University, and
Lewis Flyers.
He had some looks from the pros. He played some minor league baseball.
Pitch, swing and a miss. Yoder goes down for the first down of the inning on a filthy breaking ball. 1 down in the 7th.
So Michael Mormon, who is now playing third base, will step up. He was originally out in left field for most of the ball game.
Mormon 1 for 3. Struck out in the first, doubled in the 4th, flew out to right in the 5th. You got 3 runners on base, and Northwestern will stay back in double play depth.
If you want to point to 2 innings, it would be really the second and the 4th. Golden scoring opportunities for Valparaiso that
couldn't get anyone across. There's a breaking ball inside corner strike, and the count's 0-1.
He ducked away, turned his body away from the pitch as it
right over the plate.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we'll be back with you on Saturday from Emery Bauer Field. Crusaders and Penguins in a Horizon League battle. We'll have it for you on the Arena Sports Network.
Should be some beautiful weather for you as well.
0-1 on the way. Fastball low, and the count's even. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, while Brian is doing that, I've got some duties back home in Brookfield here. No, it's not the zoo. I won't be visiting my in-laws, but I will be doing public address for the Riverside Brookfield Bulldogs.
I think that got Brad. He closed his eyes.
My first season doing PA for them. My son is a freshman now at RB.
A ball is striking out. Bases loaded. A 1-1. A swing and a bouncing ball to the left side. Scooped up by the shortstop. The long throw is in time.
Play.
Great play by Stevens at short. A run comes home. It's 12-3.
That was anything but routine.
Got that right.
And yet he made the play.
Now batting, number 15.
So an RBI ground out.
Nate Pallas.
For Mormon.
And Nate Pallas will step to the plate. And Pallas can really make this interesting with a base hit. Infield remains back. Outfield spread out. As Livingston sets at the belt. The pitch. Fastball outside, ball 1.
He's 0 for 1 with a walk since coming in relief.
You know what I'm happy about with these windows in front of us?
Yes.
We don't have to hear a squeegee.
Yes, that's right. Our Joliet experience.
We'll tell you that story at the bottom of the inning.
Could still wash the windows during the
Yeah, but they have to reach up here to do it, and the fans would be the ones doing it. The pitch. Curveball strike on the inside corner, and the count's even at 1-1. We'll remind the folks of that experience at the bottom of the inning.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're doing small college or minor league baseball. You run
small college in a minor league baseball stadium, and we've done that for 2 years.
A ball, a strike, 2 down. Top of the 7th, 2 runs home for Valparaiso. They trail 12-3. The pitch on the way. Curveball striking the inside corner. The count's 1-2.
See, let's see. We've had to make our way through pitch darkness at one ballpark. We've had them do the cleaning the windows on the glass booth around us during a game.
Yep.
And we've frozen our butts off up in a perch that was like for a softball
We've been
game.
fried. We've been frozen. We've been squeegeed.
Windburned for you.
Windburned in my case. 1-2, 2 down from the stretch. The 1-2 breaking ball swung on and miss. Inning is over, but the Crusaders put a pair on the board. 2 runs, 2 hits. There was an error and a pair remaining. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is Northwestern 12 and Valparaiso 3. We'll come back with more as we have reached the 7th inning stretch. You're listening to Crusader Baseball on the Arena Sports Network.
Get your best price on Ford trucks, Focus, F-150, Explorer, Escape, and Lincoln MKS, MKT, MKX, MKZ, as well as Fiesta, Fusion, Taurus, Mustang, Navigator, and all other new Ford Lincoln vehicles at the all-new Sowers Ford in Lincoln, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer. We offer new and used Ford Lincoln vehicles, parts, service, and used cars. If you are in Northwest Indiana or near Michigan City, LaPorte, Hobart, Burns Harbor, Valparaiso, Chesterton, South Bend, or Portage, there is no comparison to the other dealers around town. We are about to earn your business with top quality service and the most competitive pricing in Indiana. Stop by today at 3930 Franklin Street in Michigan City or give us a call at 219-879-5381. That's 219-879-5381. Or visit us online at www.sowersauto.com. Sowers Ford Lincoln, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer. You're listening to Valparaiso Crusaders Baseball, live on the Arena Sports Network.
New pitcher, Zach Walsh for the Valparaiso Crusaders. What do you have on him?
The story on Mr. Walsh. Let's see as I take a look here. Caught me off guard there for a second. What am I missing here?
I don't know.
I'm looking at batting statistics. That's what happened. Flip the page, Mark. Do the right thing. Zach Walsh comes in with a rather hefty earned run average of an even 27. This will be his second appearance. Both have been in relief. He's just pitched a third of an inning, but in that third of an inning, he gave up a hit, he gave up a run, and that was an earned run. He walked 2 also in that inning, and that's why he's got the elevated
ballooned
but misleading earned run average. When you haven't pitched much, it can be either real high or real low.
I will tell you why I was laughing. I just saw a post from a really dear friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, David Schuster.
Okay.
Cody, don't give me no lip, man. We'll start things off in the bottom of the 7th inning. The pitch is a curveball upstairs for ball 1. I'll get to Schuster's post in a moment. But which one do you want to tell him first? You want to tell him the squeegee story or the pitch black story from Crestwood?
I'll do pitch
fastball
black.
outside.
We were doing
fastball outside. 2-0 the count.
Last 2 seasons doing Roosevelt University baseball in the CCAC, and the problem it's a nice ballpark there in Crestwood.
Is a swing and a pop up into left, and it is caught in left field by Schneider.
One out in the 7th. Territory in left field by Schneider.
Pitch hitter number 10, Walker Moses.
1 out in the 7th, and Walker Moses now will pinch it for Hoshite.
Now at bat, pinch hitting for Northwestern, number 10, Walker Moses.
Okay,
Walker Moses, let me tell you a little bit about him first.
Okay.
Or maybe I won't tell you. Well, go ahead. But the quick story about that was the fact that we do Roosevelt plays their games at Standard Bank Stadium in Crestwood, south suburban Chicago, and the home of the Windy City Thunderbolts. Of the
It's a swing and a miss by Moses on the first pitch for strike 1.
And it's a place that's got plenty of parking, but not a lot of ambient light at night. As far as street lights or anything around there. So when they turned the lights off in the stadium.
The 0-1 is low, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And we were the last guys out of the press box. You couldn't see in front of your hand downstairs. There was no ambient light.
And to think it was a 10-inning game.
That's right.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss on a slider.
needless to say,
And the
Brian
count's 1 and 2.
Slammed our knees into a few seats, and there was a couch that they've got there.
A couch, a wall, nearly tripped.
That's right.
Swing and a miss.
So Moses goes down swinging.
On 3 pitches.
I never thought I would say that term. Moses goes down swinging.
That's just wrong. Here's what David Schuster wrote as Josh Perlmutter steps in. Theo Epstein on Javier Baez's recent ejection and argument with teammates. Quote, I think it was a great development. He let his slump get to him, and his teammates called him out on it, and he then responded with a home run and has hit the ball hard ever since. So our buddy David Schuster with that.
Josh Perlmutter, who came in as a defensive replacement, will step up with.
And we got an update from softball. They are tied in the second game, 2-2 at the end of 5.
Well, I tell you what, the softball team played awfully well. They swept the Detroit Titans over the weekend
and shut them out in the process. Did not allow a run.
It was a 3-game sweep, 3-game shutout sweep by our Lady Crusaders.
So Perlmutter steps to the plate. What?
Perlmutter is a batting even 100 coming in.
Now what the heck's going on?
I was going to go down and say hi to Tim Stoddard. I
want a picture with Tim Stoddard if we get a chance.
We had talked a few times when he was with the Cubs, and because of the connection with Sammy Esposito, I'd done written a story about Sammy Esposito for Red, White, and Green Sports Magazine, the Italian-American Sports Hall of Fame publication, and Sammy had mentioned Tim at that point because he was still playing.
2 down in the top of the 7th. And the pitch on the way is a breaking ball inside to Perlmutter for ball 1. Zach Walsh trying to retire the side in order. Hasn't happened yet. The pitch, curveball strike, and the count's even 1-1.
We're going to trek after this game. We're going to take a ride down to Chicago State at their new ballpark.
Is that a 6 o'clock pitch or a 7?
6:30.
6:30.
They moved it up from 7.
Next one outside, 2-1.
Because they're hosting
Notre Dame.
First time Chicago State has ever hosted Notre Dame.
They played them at Notre Dame. I was there for one of those games. Here's a bouncing ball foul behind the plate.
And Notre Dame is actually using Chicago State's field for like 5 of their games.
As Frank Eck Stadium gets blown up. Well, no, I mean that kiddingly. They're getting field turf put down.
Yes,
and the situation is the weather has not cooperated at all. The 2-2 pitch outside with a breaking ball, and the count is full.
They're going through the same thing that Chicago State went through last year.
Yeah,
because of the weather.
And most of Chicago State games were at UIC, I believe.
Right.
Which is also getting a renovation. That's a fastball, high ball 4. There goes that idea of a 1-2-3 inning. So a walk to Perlmutter gets things started.
And Perlmutter, he's been up to the plate twice and twice coaxed a walk since coming in.
He coaxed a walk?
Coaxed a walk in the 5th.
Here is Cody Stevens, who is 0 for 4. He is the only, besides the pitch hitters, he's the only regular batter in this lineup, a toss to first, the runner back. That does not have a hit.
Because even some of the subs have gotten on base.
Next one, swinging a high drive into center field. Mark Johnson will try to under it. He has it, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, 1 left. We go to the 8th. 12-3 in favor of the Northwestern Wildcats. We'll come back with more. This is Valparaiso Crusaders Baseball, and you're hearing it live on the Arena Sports Network.
Gigahertz, providing customers with excellent service since 2008. Computer problem? Leave it to the staff at Gigahertz, priding themselves with an unparalleled work ethic and continuing to offer customers the lowest prices around. Gigahertz services include PC repair,